Welcome on into the Premier Circuit Destro Showcase. Hi everyone, my name is Quinn, better known as Colorblind. Joined to my left is Red Roke once again for a night of Call of Duty action. And Kyler, we're coming down to the wire here with in-pool play. Week 3, we've got the final pool play matches up tonight. LCQs is next week. Playoffs is the week after. Lots of good Call of Duty. In terms of the standings right now, you're seeing them on the screen, courtesy of our fantastic production staff.
It was a crazy end to Group A as we had to do the math of what happened, because we have Legends of 6, Zudor Gaming, Freezing Demons, all ending 1 and 2, but somebody had to get that second spot. And I believe it was Legends of 6, if I'm correct, or was it Freezing Demons? I'm tweaking that.
Well, we can take a look at the bracket and see, because again, we have so many great graphics coming again, courtesy of our production staff. You're taking a look at where the winner's bracket stands currently. Freezing Demons were able to notch their way in, meaning that Legends of 6 versus Sudor will be in that LCQ to bring us into the bracket. But nonetheless, I mean, you talked about it. That was a contentious Group A. On the other side of the coin, I mean, you have the teams that are really, really standing up, and you have the teams that are struggling ever so slightly. Exhale, Endeavor, Sudor, and we'll be seeing the rest of this fill the rest of the way out here tonight as we close pool play.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing the conclusion of Pool B for our first game, and it's going to be Speedy Whiteman taking on Elation in this one, Quinn. And this is a battle for that second first type area. It's going to be for that top half type of area. Now, Quinn, what are your key factors as we try to look at the potential outcome for this group?
I mean, we take a look at our maps, and obviously you want to start off very, very quick on the 6-star hardpoint before you go into the Karachi S&D and vary your game up. Invasion will be our control. Very unfortunately for those at home, you know that I'm just not the biggest fan of Invasion. Vista hardpoint, Rio S&D await us in the wings if we do need it. And again, we talk about these two teams, right? Speedy White Men currently 1-1, Elation currently 2-0, but very, very close to being a 2-0 matchup between these two teams. Speedy White Men off of a 3-0 victory against Exhale, also had a loss against Project Above, but it was a Game 5, Round 11 loss that relegated them to that 1-1 scoreline. So again, on paper, these two teams pretty close to each other in terms of the records.
I mean, literally that game, round 11 S&D, like that's a flip of the coin. We could be looking at them 2-0, but right now we're looking at them 1-1. And it's interesting because they 3-0'd the bottom team. Well, I can't remember their name. It's Exhale, excuse me. So they 3-0'd Exhale quickly, and they're coming off of that strong win. But as for Elation, that was a 3-1, so they didn't look as convincing. It really is kind of a coin flip in that sense, how this one might play out, but this really is the decider for this group.
Yeah, and it's a decider for the Speedy White Men as well. Currently 1-1. We also have a matchup later on that's going to potentially decide this. They need this win here and now, as a loss is going to relegate them to that LCQs almost definitively. And this makes things a little bit difficult. Elation 2-0. They're definitely a favorable team within the landscape of this tournament. The other aspect of it is the fact that for the Speedy White Men, they're going to be down a man. Confid being subbed out, Snappin is in, and it turns to Confid, who is a big question mark now that he is out of the equation here. Snappin is in. And as well, Snappin and Stu playing from a LAN center. We've heard some rumors that there might be a little bit of packet loss there, so things already out the gate for the Speedy White Men. A little bit concerning, again, losing a player like Confid, who has been a big factor in the KD department.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, but there's also substitutes for Elation. They are going to be having Eternal and Haven enter into the roster. That's in replace for Reciprocity and Seven Driz. So there are substitutes. These could be two completely different teams, and we might not know the story if we're trying to base it off what we previously have seen. So that is going to be a big factor, and really that might give this unknown mystery type of vibe towards our series.
Yeah, and for Elation, I mean, Eternal and Haven, they are very formidable subs. Reciprocity and Driz, great players to have, but I feel like on the Speedy White Men side of things, when you're losing such a big Slayer, that kind of stands out in the sub department. In the grand scheme of things, again, you said it best. We have two teams that look a little bit different here tonight. Only one of them is going to be able to walk away with a W. And in terms of Elation, if they cement their place in the pool with a W here, they would be 3-0. Things can get maybe a little bit dicey, though. If they do lose, it would be potentially a 3-way 2-1 tie in Pool B. It would come down to maps, but I do believe if the mathematician in me is correct, they would have the maps enough at the very least to justify getting into the playoffs.
Well, looking here at our maps, Quinn, we do have 5 different maps. So, we do go to invasion control, which can be, all of that and more. But we're going to see a variety of maps. So that might just allow for like one team. Let's say Speedy White Men are really good at 6-star. They won't be able to like rack it up on 6-star 3 times. They're going to have to switch it up. So that might give just a little bit of new flavor, different angles, and keep things fresh and on the edge of their seats for both of these teams.
If my memory serves me correctly, Speedy White Men, they were really, really good on those respawns last week. And again, they were up against Exhale, who has had their problems, has had their woes, a little bit of inconsistencies there in terms of the roster, so you can't really blame them. But still, Speedy White Men, when they get out hot, when they start on these quick rotations that you expect out of 6-star hardpoint, especially when you talk about the P2 to P3 and the P4 to P1. Lots of numbers there, but when you talk about those rotations and you start off hot, you look to the Speedy White Men to live up to the namesake ever so slightly, get Speedy, show off that they've got a little bit of that sneaky athleticism that you can anticipate based on the name. And again, for Elation, it's just about doing what works. This team so far has been unbelievably good. Both 3-1 victories over Project Above and Exhale. Had the gentleman's reverse against Project Above last week. But again, pure dominance after that first hardpoint. Maybe some question marks, though, in that first hardpoint for Elation. If they start off hot, Speedy White Men gonna have to pick up the pace.
Here we go, 6-star underway, map 1. Will this be a hot start to potentially decide Group B for one team? Or will it be a close affair that will spell out a map 5 contested game? It's Speedy White Men in the green, Elation in the red, but if you're looking at the minimap, they're in the white. Group B on the line.
Here we go, a lot riding on this map here. It's all about getting off to a quick and dirty start. Bowman has 3 completely chopped down mid, but Marco Stallion, this is a player that you are going to watch out for. He is absolutely capable of turning a hardpoint, turning an S&D, turning a control on its head. The nade will turn him on his head, at least for the time being, as both the teams exchanging blows, trying to fight for those P2 spawns.
Yeah, this P1 is always just going to be dicey because nobody really has the trophy right off the rip, so teams are just going to be flying at that one. But right now, you mentioned it, Quinn. Look at the spawn. Speedy White Men do control the correct half of the map, and now P2 is about to pop in 5 seconds, and right now it's Elation who have to make the break. And we saw yesterday just how strong getting the spawn control can be for P2.
Trickster is going to be the first player trying to come on in. You have Stewie trying to provide the cutoff. Not going to be able to, though, and that's going to enable Elation to gain a couple of kills and potentially gain some map control here as they try and make the break on into the hill. Next line of defense, though, is Marco Stallion, who will line them up one by one, bring them down. That is absolutely what you expect out of a pure gunny like Marco on a map like this.
Dewey does shut down his teammate, overcooks just a little bit. But when you have these fights over towards P2, all you have to do is just go trade for trade because you'll just get those respawns. Actually, it's interesting enough because Mansion spawned out, but they're not even going to need that pinch coming from the spawn. Snappin's going to clutch up towards the hill, and now it's a rotation immediately. Look at this. Speedy White Men immediately bursts. Elation gets the scrap time, but that's just junk time. Speedy are going to get this new hill, and they're playing fundamentally correct.
It's very interesting because Elation, they spawned over towards that P2 side. They say, you know what, we'll make a hit into P2, get a couple of seconds additional on the board. But that just gives Speedy White Men the opportunity to hit the left foot, right foot express, make their way over towards P3, continue to fortify here. Sparks, you are not getting up that ledge. Trickster, you are not getting out of mid. When Snappin is in the lobby, the sub, picking up the pace, allowing this team to kind of rally around him. 7-3 currently as well. And Confid, definitely a player that you would miss, but Snappin's able to fill the shoes.
Oh, a number 5 spawn. Trickster spawns in the back. That might be the collapse. There's still some good time for Elation, but they're going to have to start moving before it becomes really just junk time. Now it's going to come down to Trickster versus Marco. Going to be swinging the corner here. Marco is waiting, and he's going to get the kill. That's going to get the scrap time towards Speedy White Men, but they're spawning in the back. And now it's a foot race to P4.
Marco, what a play out of him. The foot race over towards P4 ensues. Both of these teams entering from different angles here. Mansions and Co. trying to make the hit straight through main, whereas Elation coming in through mid, trying to hold this thing down, but not going to be able to when Speedy White Men have the kills. They have the number. In terms of numbers right now, Elation only 20 points on the board. I mean, we briefly alluded to the fact they got off to a little bit of a slow start on the hard point in the last week of play. Continuing to see some woes there as the Speedy White Men, they are the Speedy Shifty White Men, able to rotate quick and able to hold.
The slang coming out of Speedy right now is just way too much for Elation, and they're also doing good rotations. Elation just needs to do a mental reset and just able to just keep Speedy Whiteman at bay. They need to just put up some normal fights, and this is a good time for them. However, Strixta puts the gun down. Stewie slides through. Marco finds another. The break is clean, and Whiteman retake the hill.
They retake the hill, and this is a hill that you can really start to snowball off of. You have the control here. You're going to look to regain into mid. Elation, though, is going to bring it to you, and it's going to get very aggressive, trying to have this P1 stronghold. Speedy White Men have the opportunity to attack this from a lot of different angles, but getting chopped down from every which angle is Eternal and Trixta really starting to find the pace here. Elation, this is a hill that they so desperately need to stay in the mix of this, already down by 100 points.
Yeah, that first set of rotations, massive for Speedy. Elation's going to need to find a little bit of adjustments, and this comes down to mid-game. What can you do to maybe know, like, hey, we got to change this and this? And I like this, what we're seeing so far. Elation's playing on the right-hand side of the map, and that will set them up for the future in P2. They just need to contest this hill, make sure that they can't have any obvious time for the White Men.
But that being said, the Speedy White Men, I mean, the more time that they continue to gain, the more question marks that start to surround things for Elation. They're going to get a clean 3 dead in the feed, so now it just comes down to Mansions, and he is no longer. Elation will be able to get that scrap time. They also have those spawns over towards P2 for Speedy White Men. It's about the rotation. It's about trying to play for the break as well over towards the pool side.
3 players going to come from the pool side. It's going to be an all-out front from Speedy Whiteman. They do have a player, Stewie, coming from the back, and that's going to force the rest of the spawns. Actually, no, Stewie does spawn in the back. But Stewie got actually that Sparks who spawned in the back. Stewie's going to get shot in the back after getting a kill. So there was some chaos that went actually towards the backside of the hill. And there's a front hit from Marco, but the respawns are just coming through and through. And Elation's reinforcements are just going to stand tall.
Elation's reinforcements will be dwindled, though, ever so slightly. Stewie will find the kill off onto the player in the hill, and now Elation has to find their way right back in. They still do have these spawns, though. 26 seconds left to fight for. And the Speedy White Men are going to continue to soak up that time. And now the question marks for Elation once again. They not only have to make the break through this hill, but they've got to make their way over towards P3. You see a couple of players maybe playing the long wrap game. Bowman making his play over towards the bottom side of the map. He'll be followed by the rest of the Elation squad. It's going to be a very long rotation for them to play over towards P3, and that's going to allow Speedy White Men to collect that time in the early hill.
Massive opening kill onto Stewie. Now, where does Stewie spawn? The hill is white, so that might make this interesting. Triple kill from Chin as he shuts down the flank, and that will secure this rotation, and this will put Whiteman into a great position. They're probably going to get at least 30 seconds off of this hill.
Oh, Mansions!
He's on a spree. 5 to his name, 1 off a cruise missile.
I mean, we heard Mansions in the green room talking some shit. He feels very, very confident entering this matchup. At 18 and 15 currently, is starting to pick up the pace, picks up that cruise missile as well. So many key kills, so much map control, almost single-handedly thwarts Elation's push back into the hill. There's nobody who can contest this for the side of Elation, and he's being provided the support as well. Speedy White Men cracking into that 200-point barrier before Elation can even put up 100.
40 points remain from Whiteman. They just pretty much need to contest these hills and just keep going for scrap time because there is no real makeup distance for Elation. Elation just needs to play money time. They have to pretty much play for every little bit because if Whiteman get like 20 off this hill, that puts them in a dangerous position because every fight is going to be crucial.
Elation, for this, they have to win this crucial gunfight. They have to hold this thing down. You have players coming in from mid, you have players coming in through main, and you have players cutting you down one after another, but it's a clean 4 dead in the feed from Sparks and Eternal. And now for Elation, they have a little bit of time to breathe, but the respawn's coming in quick.
They know the spawns. They got some spawns from the back, so they know exactly where we're going to be coming from. And this isn't going to be a great hill, but the hill's white. Someone's got to get into the hill. Elation's not collecting this time. They're finally going to get in there, but the kills have already gone Whiteman's way. However, it is actually a 50-50. It's going to be a temporary 2v2. Reinforcements are trickling in from both sides. Mansions, once again, rises to the call after that 10 spree. Finds another. Breaks into the hill. He's going to pull out the Renetti. Can he find the moment? He's going to get some help from Marco, but the break is through. They're going to get the scrap time. 25 points are going to remain to win this game.
And now you're going to see the cruise missile come on out to play. And when this is coming in from above, Elation just has to duck, dive, and dodge. Get out of the fray. Eternal is sent back to the defeat screen. And again, the Speedy White Men, they have so much map control. P1 now online. Just need a couple of seconds left on the board. And it looks like they will be able to secure if they can get the kills to go their way. Snapping the sub will find 2. And that might just about do it for the Speedy White Men as they get off to a fast start in our map 1.
You and I in the pregame, as well as the production staff, we were saying, okay, we think this is either going to be an Elation brutal win, or Speedy White Men are going to have to rule this one out and maybe take it 3-2, 3-1. But after that performance on the hard point, this could potentially be a 250 to 105. I think is nice because the slaying was absolutely disgusting the way of the green team.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the Speedy White Men, you have players like Mansions, you have players like Marco, and Marco, when he gets going, especially in terms of the hard points, I mean, him on the Rival 9 is a scary sight for anybody to see in their back lines, in their front lines even. I mean, he'll take it to you every step of the way. This man's the Stallion for a reason. But now the question does become, okay, Speedy White Men just took that first map. Is a little bit of precedence here, though, in terms of where Elation stands currently. Just last week, they did drop that first hardpoint and proceeded to have the gentleman's sweep going back the other way, winning it 3-1. So there is a little bit of precedence. It's very much not over, but again, you have to give some flowers to the Speedy White Men.
This is going to be a series that actually might come down to map points and which maps you take. So if Speedy White Men win 3, that puts them in a great position. Now we're just looking at the standings. Project above is 2-1, Speedy White Men 1-1, Elation 2-0. So Elation loses 2-1, Speedy White go to 2-1. That makes it a 3-way tie for first, and it would come down to map count. So every map matters, and we're going to be seeing 5 different ones here tonight.
Kyler, I just gotta say, it's so nice to have someone that's a mathematician on this casting desk, because personally, you just said a lot of gibberish to me, but I know it makes sense for those of you at home. The essence is the fact that, hey, in terms of people that are thinking with my mindset, it is pretty close between the top 3 teams within this pool. And Kyler, fantastic breakdown. But now we go to the Karachi S&D, and again, it's all about who's going to be able to adapt their game. You never want to fully sell the narrative on a hard point, do we?
No, you really don't. And now as we head to an S&D, I would imagine that the slang coming out of the White Men is going to start to slowly drop down because that's just the nature of the game mode. But essentially, they need to win every map, and that might put them in first place. So it will come down to every... If Elation takes us to map 5, this could get interesting in which team goes where. But seriously, every single map counts for this.
Yeah, very much so. And we talk about Karachi S&D a little bit, and again, we talk about the slaying, we talk about the S&D. Want to talk a little bit about Marco Stallion, who just, again, stands out as one of the players that you just absolutely have to watch. On a Karachi S&D, I kind of want to see where he plays, and I feel like this could be a big funnel for the side of the Speedy White Men, because if he starts to get active, if he starts to get these ratty angles that you can typically expect on a Karachi S&D for players to be playing from, you start to maybe look towards the side of the Speedy White Men to additionally put this map on the board. In terms of the other side of the coin, I mean, you look for these players to really find their footing and just find their footing in terms of not only map control, but in terms of the slaying game as well. Because Speedy White Men, they were winning it out time and time again.
As we go into Karachi, for a team that was thriving in the chaos in that hard point, I would imagine the bridge side with those smokes is going to be so massive. Throwing it out there, getting loose, getting over towards the underneath the bridge, and just being a real thorn and keeping your information low about your positioning, that could be a huge factor for these teams. So I'd imagine the bridge site is where it's going to really come down to for both of these teams.
this map can play out a lot of different ways. I feel like Karachi S&D is almost the most interesting S&D map that we have in our rotation this year, because there's so many different angles, there's so many different things that you have to account for. Obviously, it's a very, very three-dimensional map. Well, I mean, it's a 3D game, so that's not necessarily saying a whole lot. But you have the upper deck as well that you really have to watch out for. And again, that lends well to a player like Marco Stallion, obviously riding the Rival 9, but those gunnies, they can fire long range, they can fire short range, and they can leverage a little bit of that upper ground assault. So again, look to him to potentially be a really, really big thorn in the side of Elation's back.
Now, I just got this from one of our upper staff members in the community. If Speedy 3-0 this game, they will be first.
That makes
so they're looking
very interesting.
So if they do drop one, then it would be kind of a battle for second for them. But you're also going to have to worry about the other team and where they face. So 3-0 is what these guys are gunning for, because they did come off that 3-0 last week. So they'd be, what, 6-0, and then they won one in their first loss. Am I correct? Or did they? No, it was a round 11 loss, map 5. So they lost 3, excuse me, 1-2. Yeah, so they got a 3-0. There's a lot of math, but they've got a 3-0 if they want to be first.
I think the most interesting thing about the Speedy White Men is, again, just the fact that they could, realistically, in the flip of a coin, be 2-0 right now. We could be tied up in terms of the wins, in terms of these teams. And now we jump on into the Karachi S&D, and starting off on the attacker side is the Speedy White Men, who are looking to gain some momentum over towards B to kick things off.
Now, this is what I talked about. B site is very common. It's about getting your smokes and getting in position. And Marco Stallion comes alive. However, Sparks is going to get a kill, but the life advantage is going to go the way of Elation. Remember, Elation in the white, Speedy White Men are in the green on the mini-map. But look at this.
We have a little bit of a swap. Ever so slightly. It's just Codcaster being a little bit wrong. Elation on the right side. Speedy White Men on the left. Unfortunately, that's actually swapped around. Speedy White Men on the right. Elation on the left. We'll keep you guys honest at home. But nonetheless, Eternal already flushed in to a 1v2 situation here. He has to play from behind to get Elation the first round on the board. Bomb is down as well. There's so many players circulating around this, and Marco Stallion still being alive as well. Stewie from the upper assault. Upper deck sending some shots in. Marco on the left side will take it.
Dude, I was just trying to figure out the colors, but W production to just do a quick little switch on that. That's what always happens. You're like looking away, trying to run the stream, and then you turn back and they're like, hey, let's switch sides. But it is important which side you do spawn on for offense and defense, because you do want to start momentum on certain maps. And Elation's going to grab the first one of our series.
First round on the board. And now for the side of the Speedy White Men. Again, you're carrying some of that momentum into this round, and look to see them potentially leverage the attacker side. And this round actually being their first attacker side round. Get active, get aggressive. You already see Marco Stallion with the bomb in hand. He doesn't care. He's going to take it straight mid and die. But Mansions will be able to get the refrag. Bomb is down, though. That adds a very interesting wrinkle in this for the Speedy White Men as they have to collect that.
Yeah, they're going to have to go chase him down. That's Mansion, who's up on the high ground, who's
Sparks.
really the closest player.
Sparks
charged on through off screen and got 2, and now they've really hammered this last player, and they actually know where he is. So, but Speedy White Men, they're going to play this slow. I don't know if they know where the bomb is, but they know roughly where this last player, and that was a crucial play from Sparks to win this.
Speedy White Men, last player standing is going to be Mansions no longer. Eventually, the shots will ring true. Elation finds themselves on the board. We go back-to-back blows with the defensive sides. Trickster was just shooting at him for like minutes, it felt like. Eventually, those shots have to land. Mansion's just not in the spot to be able to play against that head glitch. Very, very ratty out of Trickster.
Well, top AC is such a power position, Quinn, and that's why you always see the offense go over there quickly. So it can be difficult to hit those shots when you have such height on your opponents. But it didn't be the difference maker, as Marco does drop. And now, are we going to see another B hit? That has been the very common side. We haven't seen a lot of smoke play, Quinn. I'm interested to see if teams are going to bring that out. But look how aggressive Elation is. They're throwing a lot of numbers forward.
Throwing a lot of numbers forward, but Speedy White Men are going to have the numbers potentially combat this. You have Snappin' as well. Taking the high ground here could potentially be a good cutoff siding with Stewie as well over towards the bridge side, just waiting for these players make the push on in, and the second that they do, you can just kind of collapse on in and on them, really be the anaconda here. But that being said, Elation's going to find 2 kills to justify the positioning, gives them a little bit of room to work with here as the remaining players for the Speedy White Men are the players that are a little bit more backed up.
Yeah, 2 players remain for Speedy White Men. The bomb is in hands of Elation. They just have to poke and prod. So if they know somebody goes towards site, they just have to shoot him down. And that's exactly what happens. Sparks tries to make a move, but as soon as he pops his head up, he gets sent right back down, just like the groundhog in February. But there's only 1 player remaining. That's Marco. He's going to have to clutch. It's just about playing this bomb site and playing your life. This is great. He's backing up. He's just retreating. He knows that he either A, has to go for the plant or chase his kill down. So he's allowing for a retake of the site. But look, Eternal's actually going for the hunt. This is great playing of the life from Marco. He's going to win this round.
Eternal has absolutely no clue where Marco is, and for Eternal, you've just got to play around that bomb site, time ticking away being the additional factor. Marco will take the clutch, and again, this is what you love to see out of a player like Marco. When you have someone like this on your team, I mean, it's dangerous if the other team wants to have any say in a map.
That was massive, honestly, for Marco. He knew that, hey, he can plant and I'll play a 1v1 retake, or he can try and hunt me and win the round immediately. So he just ran away. He rotated all the way towards back chicken coop, and you saw him try to go chase him for a little bit, Quinn. But he ended up being like, you know what, this is not going to work. And instead of sticking the plant, he tried to get the read, but Marco with a crafty angle wins that round massively. And that was a round where Elation had numbers, so they're just unlucky to get the plant down, but that was really just textbook plays from Speedy White Men. And here comes a smoke play, but a team kill!
It's going to drop the bomb, and able to recover it is Eternal from behind here, trying to add some wrinkles into the play. Snappin' will be able to find the kill and exchange things out. Mansions will find another. Brings what looked like a disastrous start to the round down to a 2v2. Mansions continuing to fry. But the rotation over towards A. It's going to be a head-on collision. Tricksta, unless he can't even make it through. And the Speedy White Men will hold in this round once again.
He actually read the rotation, Tricksta. He must have had some information. And he knew also where Mansion was, but it's not going to be enough. He wins that tight gunfight over towards Shower, and that's a crucial round to keep this one at a manageable scoreline.
First attacker side round, the Speedy White Men are able to pick up the first attacker side round any team is able to pick up, and now again entering that defense, and we've seen these defensive rounds go the way of the teams on their side. Speedy White Men just continuing the assault is the name of the game here, and they're going to get very aggressive over towards B, but now we're starting to see a little bit of an A hit out the side of the Speedy White Men, and the question is, will Elation be able to capitalize on this? Up from above, dropping down, Mansion sent 6 feet under. Snappin' will find 1, but Elation still potentially can get this bomb down if they can get some clearance.
It's all about finding the opening, and Sparks is waiting for a pinch, but Stewie reads it like a book. It's all down to Eternal. This would be a massive clutch. It's not going to happen. We're going to move to a 2-3 score line, but Elation is... Oh, no, these names are throwing me off, bro. So it's 4-1 Speedy White Men, I'm correct?
Yes.
I was in the matrix
it's something else. Whenever the codcaster just decides to be... a thorn in the backside, it can be a little bit stressful, but we'll keep you guys honest back home.
Yeah, it can be tough when teams switch last second, and then it's like, wait a second. Why did they do it? But Speedy White Men are going to go up 4-1, and they're just continuing to roll with the blows.
Speedy White Men, all of the momentum going their way now, and question becomes now another attacker side round. We saw them take the last one. How do they want to play this out? Marco's going to get very aggressive down mid, but this time it's not going to be rewarded. Eternal will be able to win the gunfight there. Now the rest of the players for the Speedy White Men fleshed over towards that B site. The Lurk player out of the equation, and when Marco's out of the equation, you lose out a little bit on how aggressive you can potentially be, and that's why the Speedy White Men are going to come to a little bit of a crawl. Elation's going to take it every step of the way, though. Oh my goodness.
And I love that aggressiveness from from Elation. They just go straight through the bag. And the kills are just coming through. Stewie now left in a 1v3. But that was just hyper-aggressive from Elation. They pushed out the spawn, and they made sure that they could pinch him from behind. And they played into pairs as well, which was the crucial thing. Making sure that there was no gunfight, 1v1 piv. And Elation clutches up playing very aggressive, but in a buddy system.
Yeah, and for the side of Elation, I mean, you look at Eternal and what he just did in that round, 3 kills on the board, was consistently taking the chows as well. You talk about the aggression, it was very tactical and calculated, and he'll take it every step of the way, twice on Sundays, 8 and 5 now, a 3 spree on the board. Now Speedy White Men again on the attacker side, Speedy White Men on the defensive side, Elation on the attacker side. And now they're tasked once again with taking an attacker side round. So far, just has been a very, very tough pill to swallow.
Oh, this could be a 4v4 hit A. They're all just gambling. There must have been some information like no tax towards B. Trickster gets the first, immediately traded out. It's still going to be a little bit of a circus going over towards the hotel side. But look at number 2. He's playing very deep for Elation, trying to worry about if somebody makes any sort of rotate. But he's going to find a pinch. But they're just still trading. They're keeping this at bay for both teams. And now the question is, do we rotate the bomb or do we still try to play over towards A?
Eternal looking to make the push over towards that B side is going to leave his teammate over towards A to potentially have the cutoff here, but Mark's playing a little bit too far towards the A site, might have to back up. He'll do exactly that, and for the Speedy White Men, they are just going to hold their post, but eventually they're going to have to form the rotation. Mansions and Snap just going to try and let this thing play out. Time ticking into red. For the side of Elation, playing this very, very carefully, but nobody is home, so they can get that bomb plant realistically whenever they want to.
Yeah, Speedy White Men, they're just going to be playing the 2v2 retake. And if I am Elation, go get control of the bridge right now. It's such a power position, and you can see that immediately. Mansions darts back there. Sparks is going to cut this off. He's going to get one. They line up. They line up, and that's a round. And it's map point to go up 2-0 in the fight to go first. Actually, no, I'm tweaking. Wait, did I get it wrong? Elation got the round. Dude, I never know. These graphics are...
Elation takes the round. Sparks with the beautiful cutoff. What a read there. And for the side of the Speedy White Men, I mean, very counterintuitive to their name. Very, very slow. Obviously on the defensive side, so you can kind of expect it to play out like that. But allowed Elation to just take full control of the map.
And this could have been a 5-1, but now we're looking at a 4-3. So those were massive rounds from Elation, and now they got to actually have some momentum going their way. And I do like that call from the Speedy White Men, but then they have to play a little bit slow and start taking information. But here comes Bowman. But there's 3 players for Speedy White Men that are going to be hitting this A objective. Stewie has a lot to deal with.
Bowman is going to be the only player that can really make anything happen. He's eventually going to get chopped down as Stewie finding the kill up on the board, and that's going to give the clearance for the bomb plant to go down. Sparks and Trickster now tasked with playing the retake. Time ticking away. You really feel like your back is against the wall here. Mansions with the potential cut off will find the kill in the nick of time as he does get downed. But now for Sparks, it's about getting the ace in this round. Marco, Stewie, and Snap, they're going to play this very casually. They're going to be very confident in their positioning, and it's a matter of getting through the door, and you still can't even do that.
That cafe hold is so strong for Speedy White Men. They are able to just make sure that that back alley can't be pushed through, that they get some ice over towards hotel, and it's a great power position. And Marco is very aggressive to go up there on top of the bus, but now we're on map point. I've got it this time.
Speedy White Men have the opportunity to go up 2-0 in the series. For Elation, again, it's just been a couple of weird exchanges that haven't gone their way, and fortunate circumstances here as they find themselves potentially down 2-0 in the series. Never want to count a team like this out, not even within the map. Marco is going to find a kill. Mansions will make things a little bit easier though for the foes. A Snap will be down by the stray nade, but Stewie picking up the pace once again, reducing them to ashes over towards this B bomb site. Bowman and Sparks still have the bomb in hand, but Stewie will find the kill off into Bowman. Sparks, the last player standing, now needs to play hero ball.
How is he alive? How is he alive? He's dodging and turning, and he had the fists out, but not enough, and that team name costed the round. Speedy White Men, it says the Elation on your screen, but that's actually Speedy White Men who are going to win it and go up 2-0 in the series, and they're just one away now, Quinn, from getting this done.
Big plays there out of Stewie in that last round, really putting up a lot of great numbers and really coming online when it matters most. Now the Speedy White Men, as you just said, up 2-0 in the series, have the opportunity to pull off the upset potentially and close on the invasion control here and now, or the Vista Hardpoint, or the Rio S&D. Just need one more map. The side of Elation, again, it's been a very, very slow start. This team has not faced a lot of adversity leading up to this point, so a little bit of unfamiliar to territory within the landscape of the Premier Circuit Destro showcase for them.
Well, when you make multiple substitutes, it might not be like that big of a drop-off in terms of talent, but it is in terms of the gears and the chemistry between your teams, and I think it showed on that S&D. Some of their rotations were not up to point, but it doesn't matter in the end. Speedy white men are just going to keep on rolling, and it continues to be this, hey, we thought Elation was going to put up some maps and make this a close game, and we thought they were actually going to win either dominantly or make it close. We didn't think that it'd be Speedy white men who were going to come out and potentially 3-0.
Yeah, and the fact that if they do come out in 3-0, they are the top of the pool is another just really, really interesting wrinkle in all of this. I mean, we talk about the Speedy white men leading up to this point. Again, we've said it a couple of times, but to repeat it once more, this team was one round away from currently being 2-0 alongside Elation. Instead, currently 1-1, have the opportunity to go to 2-1, have the opportunity to really cement themselves within the landscape of this league.
Here's that cutoff play that I thought went the way of Speedy Whiteman, but it's actually Elation who made that play. But it really ended up not being the difference maker for that. And it was a good read. They were able to switch sites and then know where the pressure was going to come from based off of what information that they had, because they knew where they weren't. They cleared a lot of stuff before that bomb got planted. So they're like, okay, they're not towards chicken coop. So they're either going to be coming from the other spawn or from mid, and they just had to cut it off. But even though they had that great play, they're not able to get it out. And now as we head into map 3, it's going to be invasion control. Yeah, what if it was settled on a map?
But in terms of this map, I mean, for the Speedy white men, you really do look towards a player like Marco to, again, continue that pace. He continued it into the S&D. There were a little bit of question marks as to how that would transition. No question marks needed, though. Mansions as well, absolutely showing up and showing out here tonight. Those two backing by the rest of the team, really putting on a great performance, even despite the fact that they have a substitution. Snap has come in and really showed up. Again, for the side of Elation, it feels like those substitutions, and you talked about it, the communication might be a little bit off in some respects. Invasion control can as well get very, very mixy. It's not just a straight defensive shootout from sometimes.
Yeah, it can be just a ruler, and it's a map that will be coming down to potentially lives, and most likely will be coming down to ticks unless somebody does get that coveted rare offensive win. But it's really all about hitting showers, right? Getting control. And I see a lot of teams try to go early for that and just do a foot race, throw some tacks, get there quick. So sometimes it does benefit the first team out if they can get a good nade throw, get some stuns, slow down that defense, and hurry and hop into showers.
Yeah, it's a very quick and dirty approach into the showers. And I always love the team that prioritizes that A hit as well. Because, again, you can really deploy some information overload. You send a couple of players over towards A, you send a couple of players over towards B, you win a couple of gunfights, and things start to get very, very mixy for the team that's on the defensive side. Could see a team pull out that attacker side. In terms of Elation, I mean, you trying to look for a player that can really step up here. It really, in my personal opinion, has to be Tricksta. We had a couple of moments where we saw some brilliance out of him. We had a couple of moments where we saw a lot of patience out of him as well, and it feels like he's a very patient force for this team. It's, again, you have to find that player that's going to stand out, obviously, with the 2 subs in and really anchor this team that's struggling ever so slightly.
Well, for me, Quinn, it was obvious when we saw that first hard point that the sling was Speedy Whiteman. And now we're going back into respawn. Yes, it's a slower map in game mode, but I would still imagine that we're going to see a little bit of that gunny dominance from Speedy Whiteman, because they still did show it in that S&D. They were able to just fight, and take them evenly. And now with respawns, it might allow them to go a little bit more aggressive. And I think we could see a Speedy Whiteman offensive win decide this.
Yeah, again, to further add on to the fact that the Elation have 2 subs, they're 2 players that are subbing out. Additionally, they have the top 2 KDs on this team, Driz and Rep, excuse me. Top 2 KDs on this team, so you talk about the gunny not necessarily being there, that potentially is the reason why it is missing out. So Again, you really look for a player to get active. You really look for a player to potentially anchor them as we jump on in with invasion control. And the Codcaster is working this time into our favor. Speedy White Men on the attacker side, Elation on the defense. You gotta love when the billion-dollar game decides to do some good stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's just the beauty of Codcaster. It decides. It's a little moody. But look at this. Speedy Whiteman has some kills and Snap and dodges the bullets. And it's already early drama. They're inside the objective. Elation was able to get an early nade, but Speedy Whiteman slowed just a second. And Marco goes big towards Laundry, and he's going to clean them out and put them in the washing machine. That's a triple. That's a quattro. 5 streak actually now for Marco, and he's coming alive, and that's going to be the A objective. And wow, oh wow, Quinn. I talked about, I think Speedy Whiteman might actually be able to get an offensive round win because of their gunplay, and Marcos proves that point exactly to a T.
How is he still alive? Pocketing that cruise missile as well. And as we head over to the rubble of that B hill, that becomes very, very interesting because Marco can clear out so much space with that cruise from above. He's playing on an island right now. Nobody is home, but he is absolutely frying and bringing the haymakers whenever anybody chows him out. The Speedy White Men now starting to converge over towards this B side for Elation. Again, they just have to anchor themselves around the rubble.
If I'm Speedy Whiteman, I'm actually calling this in right now. I'm winning an offense. I am just guaranteeing it flat out. But they have some kills. It does become a little bit more difficult when B is the only objective to take. So Elation do have a chance to get in this one. That's why if I'm Marco, I'm calling this in. But he still feels alive. He hasn't gotten a kill in a long time, but he's still hunting. He's got top hookah, but the front line of the defense falls. Here comes the break. Marco is still playing his life. He is such a thorn for this defense. And now he doesn't get the kill, but he's bought time for his team to push up. Mansions finds one. He's going to be traded out. It all comes down to snapping on this last offensive push.
And eventually Snap is just going to be taken down. Eternal is going to give Elation a little bit of room to breathe, and desperately needed in that sense, because it felt like the Speedy White Men were just starting to suffocate them out from every single angle, now forced to attack from the front angle here. Marco continuing to pick up the kills and continuing to send Elation back to that respawn, and that respawn is a little bit far away from this B hill now, so you start to think that maybe if you get a couple of kills, if you start to swing things your way, you create that space that is so desperately needed, and you can have yourself on this hill here and now.
Marco just slipped the line, ran right on through, says, hey, thank you, I have a ticket to this event, and he is running the party. However, he's going to be cut down out of Treehouse, and this is now coming down 50-50. There's 19 seconds on the clock. Elation is low on lights, but this one might come down to the game clock, unless the snapping can just delay time. The clock is running down, however, with him playing his life towards construction. He actually has to stop the clock. If they could just hold the front line and make sure when snapping hops in the hill, they kill him, this could be a huge defensive win.
Eternal has the opportunity to do something very, very big for the side of Elation, but that being said, has to play his life very, very carefully. Now the Speedy White Men are going to hop onto the hill, but it's not going to be enough time. The cutoffs will be there. Elation will pull out the round. 3 ticks going the way of the Speedy White Men. And from that point forward, Elation is able to mitigate disaster.
They had a great setup coming off of that A site win, Quinn. They were able to get a flank off of the guy who captured the hill. They had a cruise missile, and I wanted to see them call that score streak and then just guarantee the round. Because when it is still one objective, it is very difficult to hit it, and we saw it there. They had positioning. They could have called the cruise missile and just guaranteed the round, but it came down to the wire, and the clock was just not on their side.
Now for Elation, have an opportunity to try and take a page out the side of the Speedy White Men's book, and this is a very interesting play. You have Sparks over towards that A side that could get very active. You have all these Elation players funneling in over towards B, and Spark has the opportunity to play that cutoff angle, but that being said, Marco is just going to shut it down right to kick things off, uses that cruise missile, denies the first tick of progress, sends Elation right back to the defeat screen, but that being said, they're going to have an opportunity to make the hit into A now.
Yeah, now the A objective side is open, and are we going to see 2 offensive wins off the rip? Control has taken a little bit of a different turn since the start of the competitive season, and now Sparks is trying to be that cutoff player. We're about to hit a tick. Yes, Elation is going to get progress, and a little do-si-do action for Marco Stallion as he takes that gunfight, but they still can't clear the objective. Bowman's playing his life alongside Eternal, and there's a double from Bowman, and this is looking like an offensive round win. They just got to hold the street.
Speedy White Men trying to break back into this A hill. Elation holding strong. Let's go with a listen in. Hear the Speedy White Men's comms.
Nice shit. Yo, front. Dead. Nice.
Our road's dead.
Nice
I'm
shit.
going right
Up.
spawn. I'm going right spawn.
Right there.
I'm going right.
Nothing to shoot.
Going top 3.
One's mid map right
First guy
now.
mid.
I got naded.
He's wrapping B
They're
street.
all
Wrapping B
going
street.
B. They're all going B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Left side street. I fucked up. I trolled.
Bro, if you shoot
I'm
cross,
CT
cross,
dead.
spark side.
He did.
And Shaw. Playing through front. I'm playing the smoke ghost.
Left side street, then. Nice, 3 in.
Not trying to hit you. Back right, done. I'm saying done.
I'm getting on those. I'm
Pass
getting on
wall.
those.
Pass wall.
I'm going mid.
He went out. He wrapped out left. He's like a pass wall
Yeah,
already.
I'm trying to pick him up. Yeah, I think it's 2.
I'm on those,
I'm on those. Yeah.
I
Bring
fucked
him
up.
down.
I'm filling in B
The one's
side.
already going A street. Sparks right now A street.
I have it.
Play the guy A street. Play the guy
One's
A
left side
street.
street, absolutely.
I'm
Trickster.
coming up here.
Trickster street above. Sparks A-bomb. Running mid tank right now.
Front B street.
Mid tank from A-bomb.
There, dude.
Yeah, he's in CDs. In CDs, Sparks.
DVD got me, bro. 2 point, 1 point Eternals. The other one's DVD.
Going dark. You're good, bro. Stop pitching.
I'm pitching.
In DVDs right now.
Wait, what?
Speedy White Men able to mitigate it, at least for the time being. The time ticking away for Elation to make a hit. That being said, they found their way into this B hill, looking for an opportunity to add that extra time on the board. Only need 1 tick more over towards the A side of things, but getting dropped down 1 by 1. Marco is going to play the hero ball, going to cut them off of B, at least for the time being.
It's going to be a race to the objective and try and stop the clock. There's 10 seconds remaining, but the ticks are going Elation's way. They actually have 4, even though they haven't completed an objective, which is more than what Speedy Whiteman were able to do on their attack. Sparks from the skies, gets the kill, stops the clock. Is that going to be the objective? Give them another minute. The life count is close. This could come down to lives.
This is very much so going to have to come down to lives, and for Elation, I mean, you only need 1 hit into this hill, or you can play it just the team deathmatch way, continuing to fry in the feet, continuing to reduce the Speedy White Men to ashes is Bowman. They're just continuing to be very confident with the 45 seconds that they have left over towards that B side. No real urgency to make the hit over towards A, where Speedy White Men have the crossers, have the setup, but now it's time to go.
It's time to go after that slow S&D-like pace. Elation's going to come out of it in a 3-to-1 man advantage, but the spawns are up for Speedy Whiteman. Now, there's only 20 seconds remain, but look at the life count. 4 remain for Speedy Whiteman. They have to be very curious. And if they could just stop the clock, which they just did, that'd be massive. But no! Marco goes huge for 2, and now the life count is brought down. The clock is winding down. It looks like this is going to be a defensive win by the skin of their teeth.
Elation has 1 more hit into this hill. No respawns remaining for them either, so they have to play this picture perfect from this point forward. Mansions will find 1, will find another, but Bowman trying to mitigate, unfortunately not going to be able to. And by the skin of their teeth, the Speedy White Men put up a round, but Elation, that round feels like a win in and of itself for them.
Marco went. It was like 4 to 9 in life count for Speedy Whiteman down. And Marco went huge. He ended up on a 4 streak at the end there. That was massive. He got him out of the hill. He got the lives back to a manageable. They actually won that one on lives. That was a massive win for Speedy Whiteman. But the count, or the tick count, excuse me, is in favor of Elation.
Yeah, that's something that you have to monitor, especially because Elation have set themselves up for a in back into the series. If they can hold, if this kind of plays out the standard way that we expect things to, Elation could be in the driver's seat, but the Speedy White Men are looking to make a quick hit on into B, getting that time up on the board, getting that map control as well, but the kills are going to swing back the way of Elation. Bowman and Sparks will find 1. Bowman with 2, and an additional from the above sends the shots in, connects on all of them, and completely cuts them off that B hill. 1 tick for the side of the Speedy White Men.
And now they got him in a spawn trap. They're going to keep them at bay. This will pretty much guarantee them a defense round 5 with this. But look at this. Speedy Whiteman broke out. They're breaking towards A spree. Spark has to hold the line. He gets 1. He's dancing around the car, but did he buy enough time? He might have done just so. But Whitemen are going to get out of that spawn trap, which was massive for them.
They're going to have a decent amount of middle control within this map as well. And now the question starts to become, where do they want to take this? They have players flushed over towards A. They have players flushed over towards B. And if you cut down Trickster on this hill, you can potentially start the information overload strategy and really make Elation pick their poison either. Will they hold for A, or will they make the approach into B? Kills continuing to triculate the way of the Speedy White Men. But that being said, they're not really collecting any time up on the board. Marco eventually hopping on for the time, though.
And I really like this call from Speedy Whiteman. Rather than trying to stop the clock, they're just pushing. It's a high line. So when Elation does get a wave of kills, Speedy Whiteman have time to get out of spawn and push up. Now the clock is going to get another minute. They don't get too much out of that forward push, but they're able to escape and at least guarantee that B defense, or excuse me, that B attack point.
Now for the Speedy White Men who are starting to mount the push over towards A, we go for a listen-in with Elation as they try and make the hold, but they're going to have to do it through these respawns.
I'm in laundry. Nothing cap.
Oh my
Back
gosh.
laundry weak. One to our side, A point. One's laying down laundry.
I got our
going
side point done.
Nice. One's in laundry. One's top blue.
Top blue, top blue, top blue, top blue
Nice
done.
shit.
dead,
Laundry-
we gotta go, we gotta go.
Point.
Laundry
dead,
done.
laundry dead.
Nice. That's that point.
I have their side.
Nice.
Nice,
Just shit. I'm
good.
getting up cap.
We're
Running
down
up,
4
running
lives,
up.
bro. We're down
Yeah.
4 lives.
Getting in the
Alright,
corner
get
small.
ready,
All
get
they have
ready.
is small. They can get mid and right.
Yeah,
Do
I'm
you have
fifth
AC?
right. I'm going
Done.
right. I'm going
Yes,
right.
I have A Street. I have A Street.
Yes.
I didn't. Nice. Good shit, kid. My name
A
is
Street 1. I need help. I need help. I need help. A Street. A Street. A Street.
Every
Look
help,
my
every
cross.
help.
Look my cross.
Dude, I'm getting out right. I'm already out P2
Yeah,
I don't see
tank.
him A Street. I don't see him A Street.
One dark. Two
American
dark.
tank one shot. American tank one
Dark
shot.
one shot.
Dark. There's two
There's
dark.
2 like back
Yeah.
DVD and shit on me.
Still out dark.
I'm holding cross ape. You said one was highway?
Look
One's
at the mid one up.
DVD or
I
some
see
shit.
him. Small. He's gonna run at me. He's gonna run at me. One shot.
Yes, maybe?
Hold on.
I have
One more,
help. I have
two
help.
more, one more small, one more small. Let's get small. Let's get
Yeah,
small.
last kid.
Where'd he
last
go?
kid.
Where'd he go? Where'd he go?
I have the mid run out.
Well, I didn't see him running back.
He's
Yeah,
beat
I'm
him.
putting
Beat
up
him.
point.
Mid dead, mid dead. Nice.
Down, son.
Hold mid, David. Hold mid.
there,
I have
right
small
there,
run
right
out. I have small run out. Matt, play the cross.
Heard that,
I
heard that.
heard you. Yo, they can get through right,
Matt,
bro.
just stare at me.
Speedy White Men still trying to make the approach on in. Elation, no respawns remaining here and now, and this has the opportunity to go the way of the Speedy White Men. They just have to find these last players. So much space being afforded to them as well with that additional life advantage.
They're not going to reach Spark's spot. He was hiding right behind the kitchen door, and now that's going to give an opening for the defense. There's just 1 tick remaining. Bowman holds a
Bowman!
massive kill and clutches the round.
No way!
Woo, massive round win there from Elation.
Oh my goodness. I mean, it looked like the Speedy White Men had the opportunity to make the hit on in, but Bowman stands strong for his squad, brings the round their way, and now Elation on the doorstep. In terms of the ticks as well, very, very good outside of the Speedy White Men. It's going to have to come down to this attacker side round. Will Elation take it here, or will they put enough ticks up to have that defense, or will the Speedy White Men have done enough?
Now, Codcaster is not being our friend, but in the bottom right, Marco Stallion, a 28-18. It shows something different on top left. He has been an absolute menace. But for the side of Elation, when on that listening, I was really impressed with Sparks. He was able to command the troops where to go, and that was massive because there was a lot of chaos going on in that one.
Yeah, as any control will be, it's going to be pure chaos and Elation, causing some of it over towards that B side. You've got players on the hill soaking up that time eternal. Wisely so is going to hold the positioning, wait for his teammates to rotate back on in to provide that additional support. But as they're trying to rotate in, they're getting cut off one by one by the Speedy White Men. Marco has the potential angle to put this thing on its head, and Stewie is going to get aggressive.
Stewie is waiting on, but he took some damage, and Marco actually finds Mansion as well. So Stewie takes friendly damage. Mansion takes a trip to spawn, and here comes the Chow. He's going to reheal, barely contest that objective, but checks the wrong corner, and that should complete the B objective, and it will. These lives, however, are very close, and there's another crucial double from Mansion, and he still has that score streak to use if this does get hairy.
I do believe, if I'm a tickmatician, that we are tied up in terms of these ticks. Could come down to the kills, could come down to a lot of different things, unless Elation has something in their bag of tricks. Have a lot of time to make the hit over towards A, lots of lives to do so, but the Speedy White Men are maintaining this stronghold in the early set, at least for the time being.
Snappin is holding a crucial position. He has to watch mid-map, and this might be where they try to push. And now he's holding a great power position on this tank. He's able to just get on the head glitch and kind of give information to his team and let them know where the cross is going to be coming from. So White Men are in a great position. This is aggressive from Marco. He's not able to get anything out of it, and now that might open the door for Elation.
This is the potential opening that they desperately need over towards that A side, but they're going back and forth in terms of the kills. Trickster will find himself into the hill, but they're spawning in no man's land. He's going to have to hold for at least a couple of kills. Luckily, Bowman is going to provide a little bit of support. Potential cutoffs here to prevent the Speedy White Men from providing the defense that they might want, but that's going to be read through and through. The player on the hill is cut down before they can get that additional tick. 53 seconds left on the board. Sparks is the only player even near A.
He just has to play slow. He has to get some information. Stewie is going to get a kill. He might be able to actually get behind this team. Sparks has slipped the line. Now, this is crucial. How much can he get with his life? I'd imagine he's going to try and get a kill before he hops in the objective. But Whiteman, they're actually pushing high up the field. They think they've cleared their base. And I'd imagine if they're on the comms, they're saying like, hey, we haven't seen Sparks in a while. Somebody start checking our base. They're going to have to turn around soon.
Sparks is going to find his way onto the hill, and they're going to have to turn around to combat that. You're going to have some reinforcements coming in for Elation. If they can keep their lives to them, that is the question mark here. But that being said, Elation might have this first tick. Spark will lock it, and regardless of how this round plays out, Elation will be in the driver's seat. But Sparks is not going down without a fight. Sparks continues to put up the kills, will eventually be chopped down in the nick of time by Snap. Elation down by 2 lives. Marco's going to continue to add the pain, but it feels like a round win for them as they should have that defense secured now.
Oh, that should have been it for Elation. Sparks just went massive for 3, but nobody else for Elation was able to get kills. But now it's Trickster's turn. They're actually double stacking it. With the trophy system death, it's going to leave it all down to Bowman, and he's going to be traded out. There's still some chaos. It's Marco. It's Eternal, but there's a collapse from Speedy Whiteman. Marco finds it out. Oh, no, only 2 lives remaining for Elation. And it looked like Sparks had the heroics to win that one, but there's nobody else that's going to be able to hand this one. And you mentioned it there, Quinn. It's going to be given defense for Elation.
Defense for Elation. They have set themselves up so well in terms of the ticks. Now have the opportunity to bring it home. Coming back alive in the invasion control. Down 2-0 in the series. Back against the wall. And Bowman has absolutely turned it on for his squad. Getting so many key kills en route to this point here and now. Elation, what have you got?
You can't really rely on offense or defense anymore. This has been pretty 50-50 in our rounds. They've all have come down to the wire, so it's not all doom and gloom for Speedy Whiteman's #1 spot in Group B.
Here we go. Speedy Whiteman making the hit over towards B to kick things off. The customary approach is going to be made. Now they've got to get the kills to justify doing that, at least for the early set here, but you're starting to see players from Elation file on in from very interesting angles, and getting the kills to justify is Eternal and co. Completely cuts them off, and now they have the opportunity to try and play these spawns.
They got to run the other way. The Whitemen were a little slow off spawn. They weren't able to recognize that they had to run the A street. However, a cruise missile for Mansion. He's going to come through. That's massive. Now it's all down to Sparks. He might have to call some spoilers for the B objective. There's
Sparks?
Sparks does get 2. He's at 34 and 25. However, he's unable to get any more. This should be the B objective, but there's reinforcements coming through for Elation.
Elation's gonna make one more hit into this hill. No players for Speedy Whiteman either over towards that A side. It's a full commit into B, and wisely so. They've got to get that time. They will do exactly that. 2 minutes left on the board as they get sweeped off the hill the rest of the way. The respawn's coming in now. And now they try and center over to the showers to try and get that A side on the board. They're gonna have to do it if they want to win this map, win the series here and now.
Eternal is in such a ratty position. He has so much cover, and he's going to cause a lot of headache. He's going to get one. Now it's all up to Bowman. He feels a lot of pressure towards his A street. He's tucked in. Stewie knows it. Now it's just about the timing. And cover fire from Trickster is going to save Bowman's life and give them some breathing room over towards A.
That being said, Speedy Whiteman getting a lot of middle control, getting a lot of key kills to continue to fortify, to continue to set this thing up. And we have 2 minutes. You can really play this a little bit slow, methodical. That being said, Elation firing back in terms of the kill department will gain themselves a little bit of breathing room within the map control. Send Speedy Whiteman back to the respawn screen. They have the life disadvantage as well, so they have to start playing things a little bit more carefully. A minute left on the clock here to make this a hit, but they haven't even made an approach on in.
They're looking to hit actually through the middle of the map, which might cause some players off, but Sparks is on a flank. He's about to get a couple here. Eternal grabs 1. This is going to break the wave. Elation. Eternal grabs a second before falling, and now Sparks is making his presence felt. Mansion does get one. Can he pop off? No. The late pitch from Sparks is massive, and it's going to give him some mid-map control. Give him the 3rd. Oh, no. The car explosion. Sparks is going to drop, but still, Whitemen have a lot of ground to cover, and the lives favor the defense.
have absolutely no control of this map to this point. Elation has so many cutoff angles. You have number 7, Eternal, getting active towards the backside as well, trying to chop them down from there. No respawns remaining for the Speedy White Men as they try and make their way on into the hill. And at this point, Snap just has to get in. He has to fortify. He has to send in that trophy system. You have to play this picture perfect. Mansions and Snap, the only 2 players that can do it. They've got to get these kills. Elation eventually are going to find the swarm on in and are going to find their first map in the series. We go to Vista Hardpoint.
And that means that Speedy Whiteman cannot finish in first place of their group. However, they can still grab the second spot of Group B. But that one really did come to the wire, and I'm very impressed with Elation and their bounce back after those first 2 maps, because there was a lot of slaying that went the way of Speedy Whiteman throughout both of them. So that was very impressive for them to show up and win some crucial gunfights.
I mean, you talk about the bigger picture there in terms of that. I mean, Elation, you could kind of say they did their job almost by getting that map, by securing that first seed if things are playing out that way. And I mean, that being said, if you lose this, still you want the win in the win column, but it's not really that big of a loss in the grand scheme of things.
And if you're Elation, who's the team that's kind of, or excuse me, not Elation, if you're Project Above and you're watching this from an outsider's perspective, you want this one to go to map 5 in the maps that kind of goes 50-50 and then see what kind of crumbles, because it might break the way of Elation. We'll have to get an update if we do find that, because these, I mean, maps are all to play for. But as we head to Hardpoint, we saw a lot of slaying from Speedy Whiteman. When I say a lot, it was a slaughter fest on the side of our green white men. So do kind of look at that in that form. Can they continue that slaying? But Elation did look better in the slaying, so it might be a little bit more 50-50 here in Vista.
Yeah, I mean, you had players like Bowman really start to come alive on that map, really start to fortify for his squad. I mean, you had a couple of players on the side of Elation doing that, and they felt a lot more alive on that map. In terms of the grand scope of things, again, Speedy White Men will not be able to take the first spot, but they could punch their ticket into the playoffs nonetheless. A lot to play for on the line for them. For Elation, a little bit less. It's more just, you know, the trophies and the good looks, I guess you could say.
Good looks, I guess you could say. And now as we head to our Vista Hardpoint, it's very crucial for these teams to rotate. This map is much bigger than 6-star. So if you're able to get on that horse early, that will set you up very well, and you can get a nice strong hold on this.
Yeah, I mean, the rotational game, you talk about it, it really does come down in terms of setting up the overall snowball on a map like this, P5 to P1. I mean, that is a hop and a skip away, and you really have the opportunity, if you can get that quick rotation on in, to set yourself up into that second set of rotations. And when you, again, come down to that second set of rotations, things are starting to get down to the wire, and that's where you can really separate yourself if you are one of these teams. But you talk about the rotations in general, it is going to be very, very important on this map to be quick about it. The breaks may be a little bit less so when it comes down to a map like this, because you have those very, very quick rotations.
And I think this game will really come down to the wire. It's not going to be a blowout like we saw on 6-star. Why, you might be asking? Elation looked much better in the slaying department, and that was a map that's more fundamental, Quinn. And this is going to be a same thing for Vista. It's not as much of a slaughterfest win your gunfights as 6-star is. There is still a little bit of that element. It's not as fundamental as Invasion Control. It still might break the way of Speedy Whiteman, but I would imagine that Elation's going to put up much more of a fight with the momentum and the map choice.
Yeah, and again, looking to players like Bowman, looking to players like Sparks, looking to players like Eternal, looking to all of them to really step up. It doesn't really matter who does it. You just look for a player that can really start to anchor this team. And obviously, there's no questions who that's going to be on the side of the Speedy White Men. It's going to be Marco. If you let Marco start to fly, things start to get very, very dire. A grand look at the league's standings currently. Destro has already punched their tickets into the winner's bracket. They play in our next matchup, I do believe. And then you have the Crown Crusaders, who played yesterday, closed things out 3-0. Still a lot of teams fighting to enter the winner's bracket, a lot of teams fighting to avoid the LCQs, and that's one of the things that Speedy White Men, I do believe, are potentially in the cards for. No, I'm wrong. I'm very wrong. That's why I'm not a bracketologist. That's why you're here, Comment.
you always come up with these weird words to like determine if someone's like really good at math counts, like a mathematician, a pickmatician, and what was that one? A brachioologist.
I'm a caster. That's what I do.
Well, I wonder what you studied to learn. Like, is that like a degree they offer, bracketologist or whatever you just said?
Bro, if that's the degree, I definitely flunked out of that. And
Yeah, you missed that class.
yeah, it wasn't a core class, so I didn't have to take it. But again, Vista Hardpoint coming up. It becomes a very, very interesting series. Now that Elation has found a little bit of wind in their sails, found a little bit of footing. And again, it's not necessarily the series we might have anticipated, because Elation coming into this were the upper hand, were those big dogs. The speedy white men proving that that speed from players like Marco, from players like Mansions, is a determining factor up until this point, can still close it on this Vista Hardpoint.
And if you remember our series from yesterday, Quinn, the first matchup, it was 2-0, and then it went right back to a map 5, and the reverse sweep, was stopped. Are we gonna see more of that drama? Dude, it's been fun in these games. We have seen a lot of drama.
I mean, when you show up to the Premier Circuit Destro Showcase, you're going to get some good-ass Call of Duty. I've said it before, but I will say it again. It's some of the best Call of Duty that you can ever expect. As we go into this Vista Hardpoint here and now, kind of hit that fork in the road once again. Will the Speedy White Men be able to close, or will Elation continue the potential comeback? Don't call it a comeback quite yet, but they are not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Kyler, I am excited. Let's get in to the game.
Vista Hardpoint, first place, no longer obtainable for Speedy White Men. However, there's still a lot on the line, because you want to be in that. You don't want to be in lower qualers, that's for dang sure. This is a great opportunity to do so for both of these teams. Map count is everything. A perfect record for Elation on the line. Can they get the reverse sweep?
Let's get it going. Let's get on in. The players are loaded in. Let's get it. P1 now online, and question again becomes, Elation, what do they look like with a little bit of that rejuvenation coming in from the invasion control? You start to see a couple of players standing up, showing out. Eternal is already getting active early on, wants his presence to be felt, but he's going to have to fight Marco in terms of whose presence will be felt the most.
Eternal is the front man right now, already off to a 2-0 start, gets a third. However, he does get traded out, and it's a really dicey hill as Bowman grabs a quick double in response, remaining with 6 HP. He's going to get healed up, and now you see the rotation coming in from Speedy Whiteman. They're going to play towards the bottom side of P1, but Trix is going to try and play spoiler. He does find one off screen, and it's going to be a break. You already have 2 players rotated for Speedy Whiteman.
Speedy White Men playing for those rotations. Again, we talked about the importance of that. You can kind of really give up that time on P1. It doesn't particularly matter, at least in the first set of rotations. It's all about getting those spawns. It's all about locking P2 down. Speedy White Men have done exactly that. Now just looking for the kills to fortify.
But it looks like they're going to double stack towards the bottom side. Oh, Snappin grabs 2. Great play there from Snappin to help secure this rotation. And Whiteman, it looks like they're going to play more fundamental, and I thought Elation would be the team to come out. But so far, the start goes the way of the green team.
Marco's looking to get active. Marco's not going to be able to chop down 2 at once. Instead, it's Eternal who comes screaming through, creating the potential opening here. Snap will drop. Stewie will as well. Elation have the clean break onto the hill as the Speedy White Men get chopped off. Now the spawn's over towards P3. They do have those. If you decide to send a couple of players on in for this scrap, it might not be advisable given those spawns.
Whitemen have to hold on their defenses. They're rotating, and they've done so again. But when Elation want to make their break, they do it successfully. They have the will of Thanos, you could say, when they want to get into the break. But this is a great setup from Whiteman. They've got a lot of angles covered, but Snappin has going to have to deal with 3 players.
A lot for Snappin to have to deal with here, but so far so good in terms of the control for the Speedy White Men. They're really starting to extend themselves on this map, really starting to try and track down Elation before they even get the hit into the hill. That being said, they're extending kind of the wrong way, extending east when they should extend south. It doesn't particularly matter when you have Marco on your team, though. 3 kills, 4 kills on the board for the Stallion himself, and he is absolutely dominating Elation.
He looks like the Italian stallion himself, Zuma. He looks like prime Zuma with those kills. Massive SMG plays as well as pulling out the rival 9, and this surely is going to secure it. And that was massive because the spawns are in favor of Elation, but they're able to kind of slow that down with that huge 5-piece. And now, if he can get this one, he can get the cruise missile, does secure that, and the rotation game is now the next step.
Oh, for Speedy White Men, though, they're not going to have a lot of presence over towards this new hill unless they can get these kills to justify. Unfortunately for them, the spawn's very far away, but Marco continues to pick them up, continues to fry out, and continues to give so much room for the Speedy White Men. They're going to have the break in the nick of seconds. Elation's going to be sent right back to those poor spawns. They're going to have a break now for the side of Elation.
And for both teams, holding the break has been very difficult. Elation that time was the ones on the rotate, and then they got broken, and now they've re-broken the hill, actually. So both teams are really struggling to hold the positions that they play early for on these hills. And now it's a lot of tack pressure coming onto Eternal as he's trying to hold the line. Sparks gets actually a massive kill to secure the scrap time. They're going to reclaim their lead, and now it's a run towards the top right.
And wisely for the Speedy White Men, they get those spawns over towards the top right. They're going to get that rotation, but Sparks could potentially play that spoiler roll. 3 dead in the feed, now 4. It's a clean sweep as Elation completely turned this hill on its head before it even pops online. They're getting the trophy systems as well, extending into that middle P1 side of the map, trying to gain additional control over it. Marco will send in that cruise missile, will find one, clears up a little bit of space, and Speedy White Men continuing to get the kills to justify they found their way into P5.
Marco Stallion goes massive again. He's on 16-9. He's been a massive factor for Speedy Whiteman to get back into this one. They're about to reclaim their lead. They have good map advantage. I don't know if Eternal's going to read it. Actually, no. He reads it like a book. He's reading at a college level, and maybe then some. Maybe Einstein himself. There's another snap. Get him a third. Eternal, he's different. He's going to make the break as this game is tied.
Oh my goodness, Elation's still holding on. They've some way, somehow maintained this. You still do have a player, Marco, being a thorn in your backside, but he eventually does get taken down. Speedy White Men are able to get players to funnel on in. And again, we talk about the importance of P5. We talk about it because the importance of P1, and it stems directly off of that. Elation are going to have the rotation, and they're going to get the kills to justify as well. And for the Speedy White Men, again, it's about that regain. They're going to try and hit the middle, down of the map.
Oh my goodness, and Stewie just ran a bows. He did a massive flank because Elation actually had the perfect setup. However, Stewie took the one route that wasn't covered, and that looked perfect for Elation after that massive break towards the end of P5. But one route run from the Speedy White Man is actually going to give it up. And now look at Elation. There's still 30 seconds on the clock. They are making sure that they're fighting for the bottom side of the map.
They're going to want to do that. P2 coming online in 26 seconds, but Speedy White Men are starting to collect a couple of kills over towards the new side of the map. Elation not getting these spawns that they might want, instead are going to be relegated towards the right side of the map and are going to have to make a hit through mid if they want to gain this control over towards P2. It's going to be a mixy mosh pit. P1 still online. Neither team really wanting to collect that scrap, wisely so, as Elation look to have a couple of kills and look to continue to fortify over towards P2.
And this is such a dicey map. There's so
Oh,
many
Marco!
cuts and angles to get to any hill. And dude, you gotta shut down Marco. Speedy Whiteman have been slower, but the Stallion is still kicking and running. He's gonna find another on the grenade as well. He almost snapped onto that one, but the Renetti doesn't have enough juice, and Eternal cleans up with the double to make the break.
It's really become Marco versus Eternal. Both of these players enabling their team to really function on this map, really gaining a lot of map control. Eventually, Eternal does get cut off of the time, but still, you have Elation players. Still, you have players that can potentially contest on in. No longer Speedy White Men will find the kills. Who else but Marco, who is now going to try and extend over towards their spawn side of things. Bowman will prevent that. Time still not being collected for the Speedy White Men, surprisingly enough, as Elation have found themselves right back onto the hill.
There's only really 10 seconds to play for. It's not too much that Speedy Whiteman are going to be missing out on, and now they have a great setup, but a lot of pressure is going to be put on Mansion. He has to watch all of the back. He doesn't have a head glitch to work, so if there's multiple angles that are going to be challenged, he will get cut down, and there it is. The backside of the Whiteman defense is down, and there's another one. It's all going to come down to snap.
Oh.
He's going to have a fury of Elation players running at him.
The sub has to go big, but unfortunately, he's not going to be able to. Mansions will come in reprieve. Finds two, finds the opportunity for the Speedy White Men to break right back on into this hill. The only player standing is Eternal. He'll eventually drop, as will Tricksta. Continues to matriculate green in the feed for the side of the Speedy White Men. They have this hill locked down once again, continuing to get the kills to justify, as well as Mansions currently on a 5, coming online. And Marco, what else is new? 29 and 19, looking to tack that 30.
Yeah, this dude has been on a mission this map to close it out and trying to just end it here and get them a second place finish in this group. And now it's all about the rotation game. Once again, Marco grabs Bowman in the back, and he's going to run straight on towards the back corner. But I think Sparks has read it. Yes, he has. That's a massive kill there onto Marco, but there's still going to be green arrows flying onto the point. Now it's just about for Sparks to deny the time as much as he can. He does get found out, and this hill's going back and forth, but Whitemen, they have crossed the 200-point mark.
Yeah, and at this point, Speedy White Men have the opportunity to close it here and now. For Elation, you've just got to get bodies on this hill, but Marco just continues to fry you to pieces, spotting over towards P2, so you have the opportunity to make the hit into main. You look to a player like Eternal to really turn it online here and now, find those kills on the board. Bowman and him will do exactly that, finding the opportunity on into the hill, finding some space to potentially breathe, and now you take a look at those numbers. Speedy White Men are not able to win it on this hill. It's going to have to come down to a rotation.
Elation's got to move.
Players set up over towards
Elation
P5.
What are they doing? Elation's hitting the hill with 10 seconds left. Well, Speedy Whiteman can't win it there. There's only one player up, and that's Sparks. Speedy Whiteman, they made the rotation, but that's one. That might be crucial. And there's a crucial fight. Wow, the rotation from Sparks is a one-man wrecking ball, and the gamble paid out to only send one player on the rotation, and they're going to hold.
Such good individualistic plays out of Sparks, currently 24 and 22, putting the team on his back when it is needed so very much. Speedy White Men now tasked with the break as Elation trying to break into that 200-point barrier. First couple of kills going the way of the Speedy White Men as they find themselves on this hill. They start to find the time on the hill as well. Eternal's trying to send his body on in, not going to be able to get a whole lot going there, but Sparks next man up to bat.
Here we go. Speedy Whiteman, they can win it here. It's going to come down to this last gunfight. Working Elation, prolong our beast to hard point. The hill is going to go white. That's Scraps, or excuse me, Sparks, who's in it. And now the time's going to go through. 8 seconds remain. They have to stay here and fight. Speedy Whiteman can still win it here. They got to get him out of the hill right now, though. And with that kill, they thought they did so. They've got the tick. They can win it here on this last hill. The hill is cleared out. Do they get the tick? I don't know if they got the tick, Quinn.
2 seconds, 1 second, they're going to need one more. No, they are not! The Speedy White Men with literal second on the hill are going to take it, are going to win. It will improve to 2-1, will punch their tickets in to the playoffs as well.
I don't want to like confirm it, but that surely is the second place. There's no way they went from like guaranteed first to third place, but it is very close in our group here. But that should be Speedy Whiteman going through to the next round.
Very much should be. And again, when you have players just absolutely popping off on every cylinder, it is something else to watch. That was really, really good. Outside of the Speedy White Man, unfortunately for Elation, again, we talk a little bit about the substitutions maybe having a factor in all of that in terms of the communications. That being said, did not have a factor in terms of the kills in the downstretch. Players like Eternal, who subbed in, absolutely frying, absolutely popping off.
Yeah, they looked much better in the slaying department. That hard point was much closer than our 6-star to kick this off. But I gotta say, I was very impressed with Speedy Whiteman. Their slaying to begin with was masterful, and then in that hard point, they just showed more determination to get those hill on the rotates.
I do believe we're going to get an interview with the Stallion himself in a matter of moments. Marco, how you feeling, man? That was an all-out performance.
Thanks, bro. I feel great, man.
I mean, talk to me. First of all, you started off very, very hot. Talk to me a little bit about the downside of that series, though. Invasion Control, I mean, what potentially was the thorn in your guys' backside there?
You know, I've never been good at that map, me and Nick, so I don't know why he didn't veto that map, but he doesn't come to me for the vetoes, but yeah, I have to use an AR on that map, so it's not our best. I just run around, so.
I mean, when you're running around with Rival 9, it's a completely different story. You guys absolutely handled it on that 6-star hardpoint. Started off with a lot of momentum, and talk to me a little bit about what that momentum starter obviously was.
Oh, just popping 4 pieces. Like, they couldn't trade me or Nick, you know. It was kind of just one in the hill, pop 3, and then just go to the next hill.
I want to talk about that first map that you guys had, the 6-star. That was dominant. The slaying was absolutely catastrophic. What caused you guys to come to life in that map?
I'd say just Nick yelling at us, telling us to lock in. He gets pretty angry when we're not like when we're trolling around. So like when he means business, he just starts yelling at us, and then we actually have to like lock in, try.
So you
I mean,
guys
you
just
meant
missed out.
business.
Yo, for real. But you guys just missed out on first place. I believe you guys qualified for second. You probably did. Let's just say you did.
Yeah.
What is your guys' mentality as you head now to playoffs?
Oh, you know, I just looked at the bracket when we were learning the map before. We gotta play Destro round 2. It's a pretty good squad. So I'm a little worried about that, but I think it'll be a good match. Probably like a round 11, map 5 or something like that. Something like that.
I mean, you guys are very familiar with those round 11 map 5s. Unfortunately, did not go your guys' way in week 1. But I mean, you guys had a really, really good showing throughout pool play and now head into the playoffs. I mean, you mentioned it, Destro potentially in the cards if things do play out that way. I mean, what do you have in terms of words to say for the team that you guys have next in the playoffs to kick things off?
Oh, they just better lock in, bro. Otherwise, it's gonna be 3-0 30-minute series.
Oh, you heard it. And I mean, the play is backed up by the words. Thank you so much for joining us on the interview desk, Marco. And lots of fun to watch. Go continue to fry.
Best
Thank
of
you,
luck,
guys.
bro.
Have a good night. You too.
Good stuff, good stuff. Well, we still have 2 more matches here tonight. Endeavor Esports versus Destro Gaming coming up next. We are going to go ahead and send it to a very quick intermission, allow these players to get ready. But again, lots of Call of Duty coming your way here tonight. Do not go anywhere. It's the Premier Circuit Destro Showcase. right, folks, welcome back on in to the Premier Circuit Destro Showcase. My name is Quinn, better known as Colorblind. Joined to my left is Kyler, better known as Redroke. And we have a very interesting update here. Obviously, Destro Showcase. We were about to be showcasing Destro in their matchup against Endeavor, but we had a little bit of a turn of the tides. Unfortunately, Destro had to forfeit due to some unforeseen circumstances. Words are hard, and it's apparently hard to get a computer when you're at a LAN center.
Yeah, well, we do have Cheeto alongside us, so let's introduce him. Now, you can maybe tell us a little bit more about exactly what's happening over on their camp, Cheeto.
Welcome to the stream, everybody. First time debuting on the Premier Circuit stream. The LAN event in Columbus, Ohio has kicked off Destro from their stations. That's why you should never go to another event besides ours. Because now they can't warm up, they can't play our league match, and they have nothing else to do. Kicked off justice for Destro.
Get that trending on Twitter. But
So-
we have a little bit more of an interesting kind of landscape of the tournament here, sorting to develop, because Pool B is getting very, very interesting between a three-way tie now. Talk a little bit about what that might look like.
Yeah, so Project Above, Speedy Whiteman, and Elation are now in a three-way tie. Their head-to-head is equal, their map count are equal, so it might be coming down to like a one-and-done hard point against each other, and whoever makes out of that will get second seed and make it through, and then the other team will be, going to the LCQ. So it's kind of up in the air on who's making that through right now. If I had to guess, though, I'd probably say Speedy Whiteman, just based on their performance.
There you go. So we got a three-way tie. Both of these teams, or all three of these teams, are tied at map count. Head-to-head, there's in the tiebreaker might literally have to come down to a one-and-done hardpoint. I want to confirm that with you, Cheeto.
Yeah.
Wow. So how would I mean, now we're kind of speculating because we do have to work this out. You do say it's up in the air. How would a three-way one-and-done hardpoint work out?
So each team plays each other.
Okay.
Obviously, if they all beat each other again, it'd go by total points.
Okay.
So whoever got the most points
So it might
allocated
literally come
against
down
them.
to every second.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
A team could go to LCQ by 2 seconds.
Wow. That's drama, folks. If you've ever heard it here.
Yeah, I mean,
I've never heard of that.
If you come to the Premier Circuit, you're gonna get some good Call of Duty, good drama. And this is definitely a very interesting kind of wrench thrown into everything. The additional wrench, again, with Destro, they're going to go down 2-1. I do believe, correct me if I'm wrong, they have already secured that 1 seed. But the next 2 teams that are coming up have the opportunity to match them 2-1. Earn your medal, taking on Day by Day in our next time slot, and it's going to be played a little bit later. We're just kind of enjoying the podcast format here and now as we update you guys on how things are shaping out. You're seeing the winners bracket. Nothing really changes from this forfeit. Luckily for Destro, they still had things secured in terms of the maps. They're still able to keep their tickets punched.
Now, Cheeto, I'm gonna have to ask you: does Destro? We believe they do, but is that first spot secured for them?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
they're nice.
So even though they lose, it doesn't matter for them.
Right.
Okay. All right. So that's at least good. Yeah. I mean, it sucks that they went all the way out to go to that
Because they would
facility.
go head-to-head against Earn Your Medal, and they already beat them. So
Okay. All right. That's good to know. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, Destro, up until this point, had only dropped 1 map. Unfortunately, that's going to be 3 in the drop column. So it's an unfortunate scene to develop, especially for the namesake of our tournament here today. But still, you have them in that winner's bracket. It doesn't necessarily impact anything in the larger scheme of everything. And we still have a very, very contentious matchup here tonight. Probably our marquee matchup of the night, Earn Your Medal taking on Day by Day. And Cheeto, since we have you on the deck here, honestly, you're always a great person to ask when it comes to how you think things are going to play out. I mean, give it to us. Straightforward. Who's winning it?
my boy Sheptius on Earn Your Medal does not lose. He will not be losing today. It'll be a clean sweep. We can all get out of here for dinner. It'll be a fun night. Nevertheless.
Oh, so we're not only getting it like close, we're getting like full dinner out of it too. I'm sure. And that makes me a big body and a fellow big body pretty happy. I mean, good stuff. Day by day, if you're listening right now, you not only have this team to go up against, but you are hearing it now, Cheeto. has his doubts about you guys.
I don't think it's necessarily doubts, Quinn.
I just love my boy Chris
Yeah.
Shiptius.
Come on, Quinn.
I mean, I'm trying to stoke the drama. I'm trying.
Okay, all right. You can be a little instigator, whatever.
That's what I do best. I'm here to stoke the drama. I'm here to gaslight, gatekeep, and spell check.
Oh, brother in Christ.
I mean, I think that's all we really have for you guys. Again, we'll keep you guys honest. You are going to have to bear with us as we get these teams reared and ready to go. Earn your medal, taking on day by day. Thank you, Cheeto, for joining us as always. Really, really great to have you here. We're going to go ahead and send it, though, to a very quick intermission. Again, do not go anywhere because our marquee matchup, there's still a lot on the line. We'll be covering that in a couple of minutes. See you soon. This is the Premier Circuit Destro Showcase. All right, everybody, welcome back on into the Premier Circuit Destro Showcase. My name is Quinn, better known as Colorblind. Joined to my left is Kyler, better known as Red Roke, and we have reached our matchup, our final matchup within pool play, and it's one that really has a lot riding on it. Earn Your Medal going to be taking on Day by Day, and you take a look at these lineups, you take a look at these records, the one thing that you are going to notice is the similarity. Both teams 1-1, both teams the opportunity to punch their way into the playoffs.
And as we confirmed during our intermission period in between, if you guys weren't aware, the #1 seed is already secured. This is the battle to either be in lower or in the closed last chance qualifiers, or to be up in the upper bracket for second place. So a lot going on into this one, and it's just going to come down. I don't think there's going to be no map count type of shenanigans. It's going to be win and you're in.
Thank the lords, because that's only being relegated to pool B.
Too much math.
It's way too much math, and our production staff, I'm sure, are not going to be enjoying that much of that. But still, this is very cut straightforward. Earn Your Medal. If they take this, they advance into the playoffs. Day by Day, they take this, they advance into the playoffs. Loser of this will go into the LCQs. Not exactly too sure who they will be playing, but again, lots riding on this matchup. We're going to kick things off with a Karachi hardpoint before going into that fun, awesome high-rise S&D. Karachi will be our returning point for our control. If we need them, Rio hardpoint, Invasion S&D. And talk to me a little bit about these teams, Kyler. Break it down.
Well, we haven't seen a lot of Karachi hardpoint. We've seen different maps. We have seen Karachi, but not on this game mode. So it's going to be interesting to see how this differentiates from what we've seen so far. But you mentioned High Rise and S&D, how electric that map can be, because you can kind of get lost towards the bottom of the map. So I am looking at this new flavor of Karachi and the craziness that can take place on top of the sky rise of New York.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun to see. It's a very nice map pool, honestly. Any map pool that doesn't have an invasion control in the middle of it is great, in my opinion. Talking a little bit more about the team specifically, though, obviously we talked very quickly about, what is riding on this matchup, what the win cases are, what the loss cases are. Talking more about the team, obviously, during the intermission, we came on, you heard Cheeto himself say that Earn Your Medal is the team that he's going to be rocking with. We want to hear in the Twitch chat which team you'll be rocking with, and it might be the team that you might want to rock with based on the precedents. Earn Your Medal is coming off of a 3-0 win over Endeavor. They did have to learn why we call this the Destro Showcase in week 1 when they lost to Destro 3-1. Day by Day, though, it's been a lot closer with their win against Endeavor. It was a 3-2 win back in week 1 before they got absolutely mollywopped last week against Destro 3-0. So on paper, so far so good for Earn Your Medal in terms of the overall map count. But again, Day by Day, it's Day by Day. They're trying to bring it back here today.
Well, so far what kind of has been happening, we set up the table for hey, this team on paper is favored, and if there's going to be any way for them to get into it, it's got to be a nitty-gritty one. We said that about Speedy Whiteman. What did they do? They came out off to a hot 2-0 start. The control didn't fall their way, but it didn't matter in the end. So really, and you said, hey, let's take it day by day, blah, blah, blah type stuff. And that might be the mentality that so far has been the theme of our final day here of these qualifiers for playoffs.
Yeah, it's any team's day at the end of the day. And it could be Day by Day's team at the end of the day taking that dub. I'm going to stop because I can see the look on your face, man. You're not enjoying this. I'm sure the chat's not enjoying the puns as well. I bring them because I'm a caster, but I might be overdoing it ever so slightly. That being said, though, we're trying to get these players all sorted, all ready to go. I do believe we are going to be sending it to a very, very quick intermission. I mean, you've already heard the game stakes, though, so you're not going to want to miss a second of this matchup when we come back to you on the Premier Circuit Destro Showcase. again, we said it. It was going to be a quick intermission. You're not going to want to go anywhere, and I'm sure that you didn't go anywhere. Earn your medal, taking on Day by Day. We're reared. We're ready to go. Karachi Hardpoint, the first map on the docket here tonight. One of these teams going to punch their tickets into the playoffs. The other team is inevitably going to be relegated into those LCQs. Let's not stall. Let's get it going. We're in. We're ready to go.
Earn your medal in the red on the left side of the minimap, Day by Day. In the white, and map 1 is underway. The decider for second place in Group C. Our final match of our group stage. Who will finish off this one? And the hill time's going to go early for Earn Your Medal. It's Nasty who's going to be getting that early time, and it's very slow and methodical from them. They're not going to take a lot of map pressure. They're just kind of waiting for a collapse to come in. Nasty is going to drop, and that might open up some carnage, and it's going to be Super who's going to open this one up, and now the eyes will be onto the rotation as we hit the 20-second mark.
Earn Your Medal collecting the time Day by Day, trying to hit the rotation, and when you look at Earn Your Medal, you're going to be looking towards players like Nasty, who all of last week was shooting at bodies. Expect that to happen again, like Frex, who, by the way, some of that delay was factored into the fact that he was talking shit to the enemy team in the Codcaster. Absolutely love to see that, but nonetheless, Earn Your Medal, they're going to have this rotation. If Frex can stay alive, unfortunately, no. It's going to be Reddit coming on into the hill, creating some space for Day by Day.
That was a massive kill from Reddit. I mean, it's only one, but they're going to get some good map controls, so he's going to be looking at that half wall. But no, actually, as he ducks down, he gets some missed timing, but a cheeky angle on the floor, some death from below, and now Nasty left in a 1v1 with the man on the hill. Reinforcements are coming through for Day by Day. Can Nasty make the break towards the backside? He's waiting for some pressure from the reinforcement. He does cut that one off, but look at the time. It's still ticking for Day by Day. They have to make this break eventually. Ace finds one. Can he get the second? No, but it's a lot of time bought. The scrap time should keep that lead growing for Earn Your Medal, and now all eyes for P3.
Yeah, Reddit looking to anchor this thing down, moderate over towards P3, and really get that time to continue to matriculate the way of Earn Your Medal. That being said, Day by Day have set themselves up. Earn Your Medal will be getting that scrap, and as we say, Reddit trying to lock things down for his squad.
Braken's in a great position to maybe cause some ruckus. If they read this one, it might take a stun. There's the stun check. Yes, they're going to check that spot, but he finds one, and he still has 150 HP.
Oh, bang!
Good shots from Draken, and that should secure the hold. They do have the spawns as well. They're going to come from Chandelier side. And, ooh, I love this play on your minimap. Ebok, number 3. He might make a late pitch. However, it does depend on how much space that's going to be coming from Earn Your Medal. Actually, no, he's just going to play the late trade. 20 seconds on the clock. The kills are going in favor of Day by Day. And this is a solid full 60 hold.
Day by Day have gotten into the lead, now just looking to continue to get the kills to justify. Ace will be taken down, but you still do have Reddit in the hill no longer, though. Frex finds one, Frex finds two, Frex finds the opening into the hill, but it's not enough time to really make anything happen. Instead, the rotation over towards New is going to take place. Draken looking to set up for his squad. Reddit continuing to lock things down mid, has created some space for Day by Day to continue to justify the placement.
Ace is going to be the first man to engage over towards Chicken Coop. Ooh, he got caught with the grenade, and he finds one. Doesn't get the second. Super aware to the danger, but there's still a lot of attention coming over towards this hill. And the kill feed is lighting up red as they're going to make the break, but it's Reddit who might be able to make the hero play. Finds one over towards Top Showers. He is still dancing with fire, and he's going to burn to death. And the break is currently going white, but Day by Day does still have that slim lead, Quinn.
Day by Day trying to find their way back into this hill. Nobody has collected realistically any of this time. The scoreline prior to P4, very similar to what it was when it was online. But now Day by Day has a little bit of clearance. They're going to have the opportunity to sack some time here, but it's only going to be scrap. We turn our attention over towards P5, where Earn Your Medal are going to have the rotation. It's going to be number 2, Draken, who's going to try and create some space. Will find one, but it's not going to be a whole lot more than that. Ace will additionally find Pooty, but that being said, Earn Your Medal, despite having the rotations, do not have the spawns.
Ace is sneaking up. This is going to be a massive kill that will give him a lot of vision over towards the site. Here comes a 1v1, and it's a slip at the door. Knock, knock. Ace is there as he barges through, and that might be the break. However, there's more players lying in wake. Pooty is going to sniff him out. He's going to chase him down with the Renetti, get some help from his team, so it will go the way of Earn Your Medal, but the spawns are being contested by Ebok. This is a massive 1v1 for him to win, as there's still some good time to play for. Now he's being hunted. Oh, he almost turned and burned, but it's not going to happen, and Earn Your Medal is going to get some crucial time, and they'll most likely take the lead here.
Things very, very close to this point. Earn Your Medal. If they can hold for this time, they will definitely take the lead. Start to also pay some attention over towards that middle rotation. P1 about to come online in 15 seconds. And that being said, Day by Day has found their way onto this hill. They're going to find that additional little bit of scrap. They have a lot of positioning over towards this new hill as well. They're getting very, very favorable spawns. You're going to have Ace waiting in, lying in wait over towards P1 as it pops online, and Day by Day has the opportunity to get even more time up on the board.
So after our first set of rotations, Day by Day looks the better team, but just barely. We did dress this one up as Earn Your Medal is the favorites, a slight favorite, and I think it's really starting to show in our first set of rotations. But it's Day by Day who's back inside the hill. Ace is doing a lot of work for not a great position, as he has the low ground on everyone. He will be taken down, and the break's going to go back in favor of Day by Day.
Yeah, these spawns for Earn Your Medal just continue to be biting them in the backside. They not only are losing out on the rotations, but Day by Day is getting the kills to justify. They're getting these spawns very favorably set up. That being said, Earn Your Medal are going to find the break, but it's just customary at this point where they're finding the break too late into the hill. Not even going to go for the scrap. Instead, they're going to make that rotation, wisely so, but they're going to have to deal with Reddit, who's already over towards this hill, waiting for his teammates to collapse on in as well and continue to continued to justify. The only player that can really make this hill break. Red is nasty.
That was massive from Reddit. He didn't get any kills, but he caused so much confusion for Earn Your Medal, and that allowed his teammate to pop off. And Reddit, he caps it off with a punch to the face when he ain't looking. And now the spawns are still in favor of Earn Your Medal, but they have a good trap if they try to escape. And look, they're making a massive rotation for the top side of AC.
Oh, Frex is able to get the kill off onto Ace, who's extending, trying to create a little bit of space for Day by Day to continue to fortify into this hill. Frex will find Draken as well, and hold on, wait a minute, these spawns not very favorable, as Earn Your Medal have the opportunity to break on in, but again, there's only 20 seconds of scrap on this hill. These breaks have been so very slow, and the rotation is just going to get completely thwarted as well. Ace will have it. He's going to go ahead and try and bolster for Day by Day in these spawns. It's going to go the way of Day by Day as we turn our attention over towards P3.
I mean, we were talking about a 110-90 first set of rotation score, and this one blew out of the water to about 180-100. But finally, we're going to see a great rotation come from the side of Day by Day. But as I say that, Nasty looks to try and do something of his own. And look, the score is continuing to go up for Day by Day. They're about to cross the 200-point threshold.
Yeah, and they're getting the kills to justify as well. Get that time soaked up. Ebok being the hill kitten for them. As Draken finds two, Reddit finds an additional. Now it's Ebok's turn to turn and burn onto Nasty. And that kill feed continues to light up. White, it continues to justify, now trying to extend into Earn Your Medal's attacker side. Is Ace. He'll eventually get chopped down. That's the first line of defense down. But again, there's only 20 seconds on this hill. And for some reason, Earn Your Medal are still fighting into it.
I mean, the next hill is a scrappy one, like we saw in our first set of rotations. You can't get real solid time, but still, it's only 8 seconds left. I would try and just set up a great hold, and now that seems to be the message from Earn Your Medal. They're investing a lot of numbers. Number 4, Reddit, is going to be in a power position to maybe try and make some plays, but he's playing super slow. That's given some time for Earn Your Medal to get a great grasp of this hill.
At this point, Earn Your Medal are going to need it. They need at least 2 hills to basically perfectly go their way to tie this thing up, down by 100 points.
Oh, no.
And Ebok is starting to pick up the pace in terms of the kills as well. Not only is he that hill kitten, but he is absolutely frying. Does pocket that cruise missile as well. Now it's just down to Pooty, who has to hold this thing down for his squad. Does get taken down by Frex. But that being said, Earn Your Medal will be able to rotate in, will be able to continue to collect that time. They didn't collect a lot of that time despite having the control over P4 though.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's really chippy. It's so open, and you can get a lot of high ground positions. You can go top third, you can go bridge, you can go top chicken coops, and throw tacks as well from easy spots. So it makes life difficult. I'm actually kind of impressed with how much time Earn Your Medal was able to get out of that one. But more importantly, Day by Day, they didn't get a lick of it, but the rotations are in favor, and they only need 24 seconds, Quinn.
24 seconds, they could win it off of this hill here, and now coming online is Reddit, who just has the angles for his team, getting the kills to continue to justify. Now it's Draken trying to fly on in, gain a little bit more surveillance of this hill. So far, Day by Day not feeling comfortable enough to actually push into the headquarters of the hill. Still feel the pressure from Earn Your Medal breathing down their necks.
Super was playing very slow, but he did get a nice grenade toss. But Reddit from the skies finds one, but can't get the rest as a collapse of red shirts go towards the objective. The hill is going to be white, so there's a lot riding on this fight. They kind of have to take it quick and try to get 15 seconds out of it, because at this point for Earn Your Medal, every second matters.
Yeah, these hills, they're very, very scrappy, and it's ultimately, you're going to go back and forth for possession over the hill before you can even get onto it, and by the time that these teams are getting onto it, there's really only 30 seconds of time to collapse onto. Earn Your Medal still have 3 players sent on over towards P5, 5 seconds left until P1 comes online, and Day by Day looking to set up, looking to fortify over towards this new hill, coming online, and they want to finish it here and now.
Look at this swap perimeter coming in from Earn Your Medal. They surround the hill from all sides of the high ground, and now this forced Reddit into this cheeky little corner over by the cinder brick that's lying on the wall. He finds one, but Reddit is going to drop that super who picks him up from above. And now this is a traditional P1 where it's really scrappy. Anybody that goes into the middle is marked for death.
Ebok is going to keep his life alive and is going to continue to fortify for his team. 10 seconds needed here and now for Day by Day to close out this first round, close out this first map. Just have to stay alive, but the cruise missile is going to create a little bit of space for Earn Your Medal. Now Reddit has to pick up the pace, has to get these kills to continue to justify, not going to be able to. Most likely will go into a new hill if Nasty can stay alive, but the rotation, it's neither team either which way just quite yet, but Day by Day will send more players in.
Earn Your Medal forgot the 8 seconds. They know that playing this forward line is crucial. Ace finds one, and now they have to get him out of this position. Ebok is going to come in and cause some trouble, but this is all going to come down to Ace. But no, I think Ebok might be able to clutch it up as well. He finds 2. He's going to drop Ace for the 1v1 on hill. Clutches it, and that's going to be the map. Wait, no! Nasty from deep! It's just going to be a foot race. There's still a lot of time for Earn Your Medal, but surely 4 seconds remain for Day by Day. Cruise missiles are coming out. It's just everybody who's got the faster Jordans.
For Day by Day, they just need 1 clean break, 1 clean 4 dead in the feed, and that will just about do it. Earn Your Medal holding on by the skin of their chinny chin chin. Ace Slimes will come on in, find 1, but not going to be able to get a whole lot more, but that's exactly what Ebok is in for. But still, we exchange blows back and forth we go. Neither team able to touch for the time. It's going to have to be Frex. Frex is not able to touch, but it's going to be Drake and Ace finally finding their way on in. It was inevitable. And Ace Slims will call game. Day by Day take the hard point.
For Earn Your Medal, it really did come after our first set of rotations. P1, 2, and 3 were poorly handled. Day by Day got a massive lead off of that, and Earn Your Medal did start to put in some great performances at the tail end of this one, but it was just a little too late, Quinn.
A little bit too little too late. And again, we talk about the rotations, we talk about the importance of that on the hard points. And really, that's what it came down to, it feels like, between these two teams, right? I mean, we see those rotations really go the way of Day by Day. They just have those rotations in the early set of the map. And even when Earn Your Medal starts to get into the mix of it again, it's just too little too late.
Yeah, it for sure is. And now it's looking like a Cheeto curse is starting to inflict on this one. Oh, poor Cheeto. He might be feeling bad for his boys. But that was a great round win from Day by Day. We saw a quite even contest off of our first set of rotations. And then Day by Day just flipped the switch. They were able to go into that next gear, play the rotations, win the important kills. And that, at the end of the day, was the difference maker. And if anything is to go off of by that first map, we are in for a treat of a series for our final match.
That we are. Again, both of these teams have the opportunity to punch their tickets into the playoffs here and now. Neither of them wants to have that LCQ staring down them. It's a very, very contentious matchup between these two teams. Obviously, we marketed it. Earn Your Medal to this point have been better on the maps, but Day by Day has that resilience. They're able to take it map by map. High-rise S&D coming up next, and again, it's a very interesting S&D map. And it doesn't typically play similar to most S&D maps. It's a lot more close quarters, a lot more shenanigans, if you will.
You can make the game, or excuse me, the map long range if you want to by taking power positions like that explosive tank on that B lane or taking top helipad. So those are key areas, but they're going to be highly contested. Packs will be thrown, a lot of eyes on it. So that does force more of a close range engagement, which you can see towards top blue or bottom blue, or maybe if somebody decides to take a sneaky route, run outside the map, or maybe down beneath the tunnels.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of crafty ways that you can play on this map. There's a lot of opportunities for the roaming slayers from that hard point to potentially get active on this map as well and really turn some things on its head. I always love watching the high-rise S&D. It's probably one of my favorite S&D maps that we get to watch in MW3 just because of the opportunities that are presented as you outlined to really get crafty, have some fun with it. Both of these teams, again, looking to right the wrongs, at least for the side of Earn Your Medal, get up in this series 1-1, day by day, looking to potentially bring us to that Karachi control and close it in 3, and what a way they would be able to do that.
Yeah, this would be a massive win for this one. And now, what's going on in the mental for Earn Your Medal? On paper, like you and I have been saying, we think this is going to be the team that's favored. But after that hard point win, it took skill and it took some coordination from day by day, and it came down to moments. And that is what S&D is all about. It's about those defining moments. That might break the way of day by day, but we did see some red hot gunning from Earn Your Medal at times.
Yeah, definitely. I again, really don't want to sell your soul on the narrative on a Karachi hardpoint, or really any hardpoint on the first go. We've seen it, you and me, Kyler, both, but we've seen it as a whole. When it comes to the S&D, a lot can happen, and a lot can really change in a series. Off of that first S&D, you start to gain an understanding of, hey, how do these two teams play off of each other? How do these two teams potentially mix together, I guess you could say? High-rise S&D coming up in a matter of moments. Let's not stall. Let's jump on in to the high-rise.
What a performance there from day by day in map 1. Can they continue their luck, or would Earn Your Medal fight back into this series and make our last match a tight one? In the red is Earn Your Medal, and in the white is day by day, map 2 of our final series.
Your medal starting off on the attacker side. And again, we talked about the roaming slayers. We talked about players like Nasty who can really extend, who can really create some space. Instead, no, it's going to be Reddit taking advantage of the extension, but up from above, Frex will find one, an additional player will find another for Earn Your Medal, gaining them that lead. Back and forth we go in terms of the kill contention. Bomb is down. Nasty will be able to recover, but you don't have a whole lot of clearance to plant. Still 1v2 for Ebok.
Ebok's in a very deep spot, and they know roughly where he is, so they can just hold this half of the map, get your guns over towards their spawn, but he's taking a very aggressive position, and I like that. And there's just, I don't agree with that call from Frex. He's trying to go deep. Just hold your line, hold your angles, and now there's a 1v1. Both of these players know where they are. Ebok, he's already found one. Kenny found the second. Oh, he's gone from
Oh, bang!
That's from the skies, shining down upon the players of Earn Your Medal, and day by day, continue in round 1.
What a way to kick things off. Again, Ebok with the 1v2. Clutch, the gunny is certainly there for day by day as they are showing up and showing out. Now, moving on to the attacker side themselves, will have the opportunity to really set the tempo, as it does feel like you really, on an S&D, are going to do that through your attacker side rounds. Looking things good on the defense, though, for day by day.
I mean, yes, it took a miraculous piece of skill from Ebok and some creative route running, but you also have to question what Frex does. He waits a little bit, and then he tries to sprint back to spawn. I would have wished he wasn't so hesitant. He either just sprints back or goes and grabs a power position and tries to get information. But still, what a play from Ebok to clutch that round. And now, our offense has come to a little bit of a standstill. Ace might be the key player. He's also the front player with the bomb.
Ace, no way.
By Ace, and that might be the site control, but Nasty flies through, and he saw a kill happen here, but nobody's home.
Yeah, he's trying to play Sherlock Holmes, and unfortunately is a little bit too late to the case. Ebok rounds the corner, takes him down. It's the 1-2 wombo combo. It's going to enable Ace Slims to get that plant on down, and jumping in from above, Frex is going to grant his life the way of Reddit. For day by day, everything is going right for Earn Your Medal. Everything just seemingly goes wrong, falls off the rack at the seams. Pootie's the last player standing. Does he have the similar clutch gene that we saw with Ebok?
And that sucks for Nasty because he was trying to get the trade as Pootie makes this a little bit more doable. He will be fought out. But Nasty thought there's action going on towards the bomb site. And he was trying to go play a trade, so he hops on in. Nobody's home. And he looks up and he's like, where did everybody go? He's looking left, right, but nobody's home. And then it just collapsed day by day. Great repositioning. So far, the late rounds have been what have been doing it for day by day.
Bro, is Ebok Doug Sensor Martin? Did I just see those pull-ups going? That man, I mean, somebody get Guinness in here. That was nice way to close. Ebok currently 4-0, 2 away from that streak. And on a map like High Rise S&D, if you can pop a cruise, it's such a small map where you can create so much space for your team whenever you want to pop it. So gotta definitely pay attention to him. Now earn your medal on the attacker side, and they're going to bring some aggression.
Well, they just donked Frex's head with that trophy system, but a lot of control given up by day for this A site. I don't think Frex knows it, but they probably have some sort of crossfire if the plant tries to go down. And it's going to be about this late rotation from number 8. Reddit might be able to catch out number 2, Super. He does put him down to 1 HP, gets the kill, and now this opens up the map completely for day by day. They're going to be able to kind of squeeze them in over towards the site.
Yeah, they're starting to bring in the Anacondas, bring in the crunch for the side of Earn Your Medal. They've just got to rely on these two players, Nasty and Frex, the last two players standing. Bomb is down as well in no man's land. Nasty's going to try and venture to receive it, but Frex is going to be taken down. In the meantime, Nasty, it's only a matter of time, and Reddit is just completely moderating the entire map.
And that comes down to that first gunfight, because as soon as that one goes, there's a player in each spawn. They have the mid cross. There's no way they can escape. And I was about to say, Frex almost made the escape by going down towards the edge of the map, but he did make the shots. And with our new red dot being added back into this Call of Duty, it just spelt defeat for him. And everyone from day by day was able to collapse on the Frex. And look at the start from Ebok, 4-0, unless if Codcaster is messing with our brains again.
Yeah, again, you got to look out for him. There's a lot of players on day by day that are bringing it here. And again, trying to be that team that punches their way into the playoffs for Earn Your Medal. It's just about finding that moxie. We have seen it out of them before. It's, again, Nasty and Frex. They've got to get active, and Ebok is going to find himself in this ratty spot. Potentially spotted Pootie through the window. Might back up ever so slightly, but gets that information at least.
I think he's worried that he was spotted, and that's a very disadvantageous if your spot is given up. So Ebok slightly backs out, and that's going to slow down the offense. But Frex is going to hold his number, and now the offense looks a little bit headless. It's really going to come down to Ace to maybe find another route. But look, he has the bomb, so it's a lot of gamble to put him as the front player and try to make the route. And there's a great setup, and Super has the information, drops down, just traded. Drake is still in spawn. Maybe he came in a little bit late, but nonetheless, they're going to open up this B site.
Bait and switch is going to give Ace an opportunity to get in the site, but it's going to come at the life of Draken. He's just barely able to get that plant down, barely able to get out of it with his life. Reddit has the Overwatch, but is going to have to give it up to get in and support his teammate. Spotted around the corner, sends some shots in, is going to connect on the pinky toes of that player, but unfortunately, he's not going to be enough for a kill. Ace just continuing to check the bomb, wisely so, playing this thing out slow and methodical, but he's going to lose his compadre. It's just going to come down to Ace. A 1v3, has to use this bomb as his theoretical second, but it's not going to be enough. Nasty will come through and shine where he is needed most and Earn Your Medal. Take their first round on the board.
Big round. You're up 3-2. The bomb goes down. Yes, you can win a post plant down a man, but Earn Your Medal definitely had to get that one, not just because of the score, but they were in a good position and they got to get some momentum underneath their wings. Nasty was a crucial factor towards the end of that one. And now we're starting to see some life from Earn Your Medal, but it's all about translating this into momentum and potentially maybe even working towards a kill streak.
And again, for a team as aggressive as Earn Your Medal has shown to be, the attacker sides not going their way up until this point now have the opportunity to rewrite that storyline ever so slightly, though, and have, again, a little bit of wind in their sails to do it. Now the opportunity becomes to get themselves a little bit more back into the mix of this. Will they be able to do that, or will day by day find their footing once again, continue to get the kills to go their way? Stuns out, guns out, Super Perp is going to take Ace out.
Ebok playing underneath. His team's already down a man. Massive bounce back kill. Still, there's a lot of pressure towards this B site. Frex is going to try and make a late rotation play. Pooty, can he find who's underneath? I see you laying down. Now you're laying in your grave. And the man advantage goes the way of Earn Your Medal, all down to Reddit in a 1v3.
1v3 for Reddit. Pooty is putting in the work, putting in the hours, taking what is his. Bomb in the hands of Pooty as well, but he's just gonna go on the run. He's running the chase. Reddit's position given away by the kill. They will eventually close him into his spawn, gun him down. Day by day, losing out in the last 2 rounds. Earn Your Medal. Getting back into it though.
Yeah, most definitely. They seem to be finding a little bit of their stride. Now that you start to see people's reads and what they like to run, this is a mental game. It's about, are they going to curve? Are they going to do another fastball? Are we going to see a splitter? But in the terms of Call of Duty, are we going to see another B hit, A hit? Are they going to try and play slow? Now, as we get to this later stage, it's all about who got the mental warfare.
Mentioned the A hit. We have not seen that to this point. Which team is going to want to get a little bit crafty? The customary B hits have been the strat to this point, and it looks like Day by Day is going to similarly make the approach on in. Down by lower is Ebok. First line of defense looking to be Frex over towards this B side, as Day by Day have committed a couple of players over towards that A side, potentially trying to gain that helicopter control, get that Overwatch locked in.
Yeah, but once you go up there, if you stand out in the middle, it's kind of like almost putting a red arrow up there. Like, hey, I'm up here once you start shooting. So you do have to play those stairs. Oh, he spots him. He spots him! Getting the kill through the stair steps. Twinkle Toes shut down as he's going to get him right through the stairs and get away with his life. But Ebok playing late over towards the B side. They thought it was A because there were numbers over there. But Ebok was playing late, gets the kill, and they don't know that they have the site. They can get a free plant if they want to.
The first line of defense is going to have to be super purple. He's just taking it right back into his own spawn, and they will get that plant down. Reddit is definitely being a distraction, still keeping 2 players flushed on over towards that A side of things. Is going to find the first kill onto Nasty. They have to reach him out, but brings the pistol to the gunfight. Unfortunately, not going to be able to do that. Reddit is taken out of the equation, but that just gives Ebok the opportunity to fry right on back. He's taking down, though. Super Perp versus Ace. Last player standing will be Ace. Day by Day gonna find their footing once again. Get that 4th round on the board. 2 more needed to take the map.
That 1v1 could have tied this map up, but no, Day by Day, more particularly Ace, he skins that one by the edge of his teeth. That was a nail biter. And I love that from Day by Day to recognize that they've opened up the B site and get the bomb down immediately. Although Earn Your Medal almost found a beat back into that one.
Yeah, again, it's so unbelievably close between these 2 teams. And again, when you have the win conditions like this, it's going to have to be Day by Day. Now on the defense, Earn Your Medal on the offense. Bomb is in their court, and already seeing a little bit of motion over towards that A side. Will they be the first team to flirt with that option is the question. Ace, wisely so, going to play from the backside. Reddit will find one, though. It's going to make the push a little bit harder for Earn Your Medal. Super Purple exchange it out, though, so that just makes it even easier for the side of Earn Your Medal. But they're still a little bit questionable as to where they want to hit.
Yeah, they have semi-control of this B objective. It's about if they know where Draken is. He's in a good spot to maybe cause a party over towards this site, and he's going to find one B immediately traded out. That's a great punch there from Nasty. So the B's objective is open, but the bomb's not over here. Pooty has to make the rotation. Is Ace going to be aggressive and be aware of what's going on? But no, what's the bomb doing? Pooty's going over towards the bomb site. He's actually not going to get this diffuser down, and now Ace is going to get this kill, but he has no clue where Pooty is, and his position is given up. I don't like that call for the wrap. Now it's going to be a 1v1.
Oh, but Ace has the dead silence popped, so even though he gives his position away, does he really? Pooty doesn't hear him. He's only going to be able to hear him once he lets that muzzle flare go. Pooty's going to go for the plant over towards A, and wisely so. Ace is going to read into it, send the shots in, and he's going to prevent and deny the plant in some way, somehow. He doesn't go through with the plant, and it's going to be a clutch out of Ace.
That, I do not like what they did with the bomb. Was that Pookie? Correct me if I'm wrong. He went for the move towards spawn.
Why
and
did
I love somebody if they want to go for a trick play. But you had control of the site. That might have been a lack of communication. Like, hey, we've got the site. And it's just, they split up. When you're in a 2v1, just either group together and play the trade, get the bomb down, and you've got it. But they split it up. They allowed for the clutch to happen. But you got to give credit to Ace there. That was massive for his side. And now they put themselves in a great position to go up 2-0 in this series.
I've totally heard that the ace in his name represents the ace that he has up his sleeve. I'm just bullshitting. Day by day, now 1 round away from taking map number 2, going up 2-0 in the series, being 1 map away from punching their tickets into the playoffs. But that being said, Earn Your Medal, going to show the gunfire, going to send some shots in and connect. 2 kills immediately matriculating the feed. Nasty getting up close and personal, and it just comes down to Reddit.
Oh boy.
In round number 8, and it's going to have to be a Herculean effort out of him with the bomb down as well. Pootie's going to send the rival 9 shots in from long range. And Earn Your Medal, going to find a round up on the board. Themselves a little bit of breathing room, but still, how much breathing room do they really have day by day on the doorstep?
Yeah, day by day, they've been hot. And I felt like more it's been like Earn Your Medal, just not realizing the opportunity that they might have to capitalize on the round. And day by day, they've been clutch. They've been reading the defenses of Earn Your Medal. I love the adaptations in the late stage. It's really about the late game that they don't seem to be too composed for Earn Your Medal.
They're going to find that round there, and they're going to find it through some pretty dominant kills. So now the question becomes, can they use that potential momentum generator to really create some space? Now on the attacker side as well, going to make an immediate hit over towards this B side of things. Going to get that bomb down. 4v4 with the bomb going down. Yeah, Pootie getting that upper surveillance, who spots out 2 players. Going to send the shots in. Not going to connect, at least for the time being. The Kobe from above is going to be nullified out by the trophy system, and Draken will take him off of the high ground. Instead, Super Purple even things out. Now Freck's starting to get aggressive to try and lock this site down, and you blink. Draken, last player standing. They know exactly where he is, able to collapse on in, and Earn Your Medal are 1 round away from evening us up.
And I love that from Earn Your Medal. They throw the proper stuns off the rip to slow down any push for the blitz plan. And I've said they've been poor as the round gets later. Well, they say, you know, let's end this one quick. They get the bomb down. They get sights towards B Street. They control the actual objective, and they've got a roaming player on an island. That's a perfect setup, and it's quick, and it's successful. Much more crisp Earn Your Medal, and now they make this really interesting here in round 10.
And again, we talked about the ability of these players to fly. Now they're starting to do that. Nasty's starting to come alive when it matters most. And again, you look at a player like him to potentially increase the tempo day by day, still knocking at your doorstep, though. You have to get this round in order to bring it to a round number 11. Pootie's going to find the bomb, and Ace completely extends with no support whatsoever. Now, not only for day by day do they have to get these kills, they have to re-pick up that bomb.
Ebok has to play his life now. That was a massive kill. Now, it's an information game. Yes, the bomb is down, but somebody has to make a move. And now, it's generically, that's going to be the offense. And I love this from Earn Your Medal. They're slowing down. They're waiting for information. Who's going to throw the first stun, the first bullet? That's just going to give a little bit of information. And Ebok, he awaits. He's at 8-6. He's been a strong figure, but now it's all about the clutch time. Is he going to see this play upstairs?
Oh!
Yes, he is. Pootie didn't get a sound cue. That's massive. And now it's a 3v2 in favor of the offense. The bomb has been reclaimed, and it's going to have to be an adjustment here from Earn Your Medal.
What a read out of Ebok. That completely could have gone completely topsy-turvy, but Nasty has found his way into the hill, and he has the Halo Cloak of Invincibility some way, somehow. Bomb is going to be re-picked back on up, but now time starting to be that additional factor. Day by day, extending into the spawns, does find the kill off onto Super Perp, but where is Nasty? That is the only question that's ringing in. Trying to head on in through the garage side. It's going to be a matter of the chow, but day by day will get it. Mitigate the disaster, win the map 6-4.
That round was unlucky from Earn Your Medal. They had a great setup, but there was one little gap, and that got hit. It was on the outer edge of the map. He didn't expect him to hit that jump or have an angle for it, and catches him lying. He was unlucky also not to get a sound cue, but it was a slight difference that caught out Earn Your Medal, and that is a 2-0 lead to what we set up as the underdog. But Earn Your Medal, they've been doing phenomenally here.
I mean, day by day, they are set up, they are reared, they are ready to close this thing out. They want that last playoff spot for Pool C. Well, not technically the last playoff spot. They don't want the LCQs. They want to say, hey, Earn Your Medal, go earn your medal from those LCQs. Live up to the namesake. Nonetheless, again, as you alluded to, day by day looking very, very strong. Karachi Control coming up next. Again, just all the momentum, all of the wind in their sails. For Earn Your Medal, they have been keeping it very, very close. And again, it's what you expect out of these two teams. 1-1, both of them are. Only one of them is going to walk away 2-1, though, Kyler. I mean, that's just simple math.
Well, so far we've been seeing these games go to a 2-0 start, but we haven't, you and I, Quinn, yet, we haven't casted a 3-0. This is usually the map where the team that's down turns it around. It is called the swing game mode for a reason. And yes, you only play it once, but you got to learn it for that exact reason. And we already saw what chaos can already happen on Karachi. It really is just all about making those quick adjustments and making sure that you hit those sites clean.
Yeah, and again, it's just about starting off hot. I mean, I think the thing that we are missing from Earn Your Medal is exactly that, right? They started off a little bit slow in terms of the rotations. They just were not there on the Karachi hardpoint, kind of carried the slow momentum into the high-rise S&D, got a little bit behind them, and day by day started rattling off the rounds. For Earn Your Medal, again, this is a team that carries a lot of momentum, but when the wind is knocked out of their sails, they find it very, very hard to find their footing once again. So you look to players like Nasty to get active, get early, start roaming, not get shut down the way that he has kind of been throughout these first two maps. And you also look to a player like Frex, who similarly works in that role.
I've been impressed, though, by Earn Your Medal. It's just moments where they're starting to collapse, really. The late games in SND, off of the first rotation in hardpoint. But that being said, I've been more impressed with Day by Day. As the game grows, they get more and more consistent, and they play the same way from start to finish. And that's really what's doing it for them throughout the series.
Yeah, again, it is that consistency at the end of the day. And Day by Day definitely has it. Round by round, map by map, they have been the more consistent team to this point.
It's in their name.
Again,
It's in their name.
Yeah, again, living up to the name and wanting to make Earn Your Medal live up to the name as well. Obviously, neither of these teams are going to be out of it immediately if they do go down. That being said, one of these teams definitely wants to punch their ticket here and now into this winner's bracket. They would go on to face, I do believe, the winner of Pool B, whereas the other team is unfortunately going to be relegated down into that LCQ. And I do believe would have a date potentially with Endeavor Esports. Again, this is why I'm not a bracketologist, so don't take my word as the gospel, but I will keep you updated nonetheless. And actually, we have a graphic for it, so no, it would be a date with Sudor, who yesterday turned online when it mattered most and showed a little bit of life, Kyler.
Yeah, Sudor, they did look really strong. They took that one in 5, and they now look like a scary team after they started a little slow inside of group play. So that is a formidable opponent to be playing down towards the elimination bracket. And this is now really starting to take fold, and we're starting to see the storylines. And it's interesting because a lot of the teams that we talk about, like, oh, you haven't looked good so far, they show up in the final day, and then they still end up like 3rd or 2nd, but now it's like, whoa, they have a little bit of something, and it makes this league really wide open.
Yeah, again, it's not over until it is over for any of these teams. And this week has been an absolute barn burner in terms of matches. I mean, we have had upsets. We have had pure domination. We've had teams get kicked out of their setup so they can't even play, unfortunately for Destro. But nonetheless, I mean, Earn Your Medal day by day, living up to the hype that we build it. It's, again, our 1-1 teams. These teams knotted up, their future on the line here. So we're about ready to jump on into the Karachi control in a matter of moments. Again, will Day by Day be able to close it out in 3, or does Earn Your Medal start what you might not want to call a comeback right away, but at least, at the very least, bring us to that Rio hardpoint?
I'm kind of favoring Day by Day from this. Like I've been mentioning, they're very consistent throughout their maps. And Control is a game mode where you have to be consistent, because if you slip up, you lose an offense, or maybe you slip up once in a team fight, and then the A objective opens up, and now you're put into a spawn trap. And I feel like the consistency that we have been seeing from Day by Day, from gunfight to gunfight, is gonna favor them in a game mode like this. But that being said, Karachi can be a bit of a blitz in this game mode, so it might give the edge to Earn Your Medal.
Yeah, and again, if Earn Your Medal can get their footing, if again, they can get players like Nasty, like Frex, I keep on saying those names because I've seen those names go out there and be those difference makers during pool play to this point, just unfortunately not showing up in the way that we've seen them in previous weeks. But nonetheless, if those players can start really roaming, can start creating some separation on this map, especially on the attacker side, I feel like this is one of those control maps where you can really throw things on its head during an attacker side a lot easier than a map like Invasion Control. So definitely if Earn Your Medal can play into that snowball ability of this map, but again, as you said, day by day, in terms of the overall gunplay, in terms of the overall consistency, that is what has been showing up for them. So it's a question, consistency versus pure raw ability.
Is it going to be a day-by-day 3-0, or will Cheeto's pick of Earn Your Medal start to come alive and begin the reverse sweep? Earn Your Medal in the red as they've been so far this whole series, day by day on the attack in the white, and away we go, map 3 of our final series.
Day by day looking to start this thing off hot over towards that A side, over towards A, getting some time up on the board, but Nasty looking to collect a couple of kills. Unfortunately, he's not going to do a whole lot as Earn Your Medal are going to start to spawn a little bit far away from the contestant point. Day by day, first tick on the board as Ace is collecting that time. So far, so good.
Yeah, and this is what you have to do. We've seen some teams take it slow on offense, but you really do have to get on that A objective and push the pendulum quickly. And that's what we're seeing from day by day. However, Frex almost made a heroic play from the backside. However, Reddit shuts that one down. Super Pup from above does get him out of the hill, but only as it completes. And now it's all eyes towards this B objective, and Ace has made his way towards the back alley.
And those were some very, very key kills for Earn Your Medal because they literally had nobody over towards this B side, and you started to see day by day rotate, get in from behind them. Now it's just going to be Ace waiting for his teammates, waiting for his reinforcements to come on in. He's going to find a couple of kills. And hold on, wait a minute. Earn Your Medal spawning kind of far away from this hill. It's going to give day by day the opportunity to get back on in, start to fortify, start to continue to get these kills up on the board. It's Drake and Ace collecting that time. But Ebok and Reddit going to have to rotate in off of those spawns.
Yeah, and this is a great collapse coming in from Earn Your Medal. They're able to alleviate the pressure from that garage wall. They're getting eyes up from above, and everyone in that hill was looking every which way. A tick has been given up, though, however, and this B site can be very difficult to defend sometimes, but it is the easier of the two. It's just about how much map control you truly have.
For day by day, they're just going to take the reset here. They're going to look to have that collective push that they didn't really have into that B point the first go around. I mean, it was a hero play out of Ace. Now the kills starting to go the way of day by day ever so slightly. You do have players in the hill now ready to go, ready to soak up that time. Cruise missiles, or excuse me, trophy system's going to go down. Frex will find 2 though. Pooty will find another. Reddit, really the only player that can make anything happen, but he's doing God's work and more. Gets that second tick of progress. He's got players rotating in from behind. If he can stay alive on the hill, eventually he does get down, but it's enough time for day by day to get the rotation on in. Trophy systems are going to go down once again, but now they're going to have the opportunity to truly fortify this point, and B is going to go.
Wait a second.
No! Frex from behind is going to completely throw this thing on its back. Keeps the hopes alive for the side of Earn Your Medal.
That was a game of inches on that one. However, it's still being contested. Reddit does find 1. No, Ace is going to help him out with 2. And now it's Earn Your Medal back on the defense.
Oh my God.
It's a foot race, and it should favor the closer team that spawns up. And that's obviously going to be defense. Earn Your Medal is flooding in. They're getting the kills. And they're going to be able to stain off this attack. And now, day by day, does not have a lot of lives to throw out that one. Surely that fight was going to be it, but it was a game of nanoseconds as Earn Your Medal should be clutching this.
Still have the opportunity, though.
There's time.
Potentially get a full team wipe. I mean, you still have 42 seconds left on the board, and if you get these kills to go your way, you're starting to inch ever so close to sending them to that no respawn life. But also, if you are day by day, you have to play this picture perfect from this point forward. Neither team is going to have any respawns from this point forward. They've got to use their last life as if it is their last vestige. Time ticks into red. We go into the S&D on control. Collapse coming on in from day by day. First kill is going to go the way of Ebok. Draken will find the second. Now it comes down to Frex. Pooty, last player standing. Ace will call the round. Day by day, start off on the attacker side with some fire.
And that was a great setup from Day by Day. They realized that there's a lot of time, not a lot of lives, however, so they just take their time, they work around the map, and the collapse comes in from that half wall, and that really just opens up this defense on Earn Your Medal, and they were looking every which way. And I talk about the consistency from Day by Day. They always make the tough call in the tough situations, and Earn Your Medal just always gets caught lacking for it.
Yeah, and again, came down to literal inches at that point.
Oh my goodness.
Day by day, it is that resilience, it is that consistency, but now Earn Your Medal on this attacker side, and this feels like it could be their opportunity to get back into the mix of this, especially if players like Nasty and players like Frex start to get active.
Yeah, well, a nade kill will give Earn Your Medal a slight over inkling towards the side. Draken can't get that kill. Almost able to shut him down on the ladder, but Ace Reddit gonna get active. Reddit is playing this top third well, but the kills are gonna go back and forth. That's gonna be the A objective. And I'm liking these offenses much more than we've seen previously on Karachi Control. It's just get that done, play the time, get your lives, and spend the rest of this game and most of this round focusing on that B site.
Now for Earn Your Medal, they have 2 minutes up on the board. Realistically speaking, again, all it takes is one clean 4 dead in the feed, and you can be into this restaurant, getting that time up on the board. Not going to see any crafty players already over towards B, so it's going to give Day by Day the opportunity to potentially fortify over towards this side. But that being said, Earn Your Medal are finding a couple of key kills that can potentially swing their way, get them back into this B point.
Day by Day is going to get a nice setup towards that back alley, which really is a power position, because it can be difficult to throw nades over there. And if you got a trophy system, it's really a lockdown position. But it's also about getting control of that half wall and the high ground. And so far, if the kills are just going to keep going 50-50, which they are, it's going to go in favor of Day by Day. But Nasty is in a great position. He is a nice power position to look down below, but he's going to elect to try and go for the special hero play. Get one, and now it's all about staying alive. 6 HP in a dream. There's so many players from Day by Day that might be able to surround him.
And Nasty's going to be the first player on into the hill. You still have to deal with Ace, though, who's still alive. Really being that anchor for this team, really locking this thing down. Minute left on the clock. Day by Day starting to pick them apart one by one. Earn Your Medal sent back to those respawns. Now have the opportunity once again to make the hit, though, because they have the respawns over towards the hill. And I don't think Day by Day anticipated that. I don't think they anticipated those respawns to get flipped. And that's going to enable Earn Your Medal to get on into this hill.
Rex is in a key position towards that back alley. Reddit is at low HP and he's going to slow down. He's going to wait. He's going to wait for some noise to happen, and it's happened. He has the information on Reddit. Gets destroyed, but no, the pressure from the back. Day by Day continue to clutch up. Yes, Earn Your Medal, get into the hill, but it's a little preemptive, and Day by Day allows them to get a little bit of time, and then they just collapse. And now there's not a lot of it for Earn Your Medal, but they're going to get 2, and now will that be the catalyst to get in?
Again, 9 lives to 10. You have Ebok in this very, very cheeky spot, but he's only going to be able to find 1. That's going to enable Nasty to get on into the hill. Next man to bat up, it is Draken. He will hold things down. Earn Your Medal are being reduced to ashes one by one, but still, the life differential all knotted up. Day by Day are holding this thing down. Ace is going to lock it and drop it. Oh my goodness, Day by Day looking so good, and for Earn Your Medal, you're on your no respawns, time being the additional factor. Day by Day, now 1 point away.
Keep saying this over and over and over, but the late game always favors Day by Day. Earn Your Medal started off super strong. They got A, they only spent about 2 lives taking it, but they got way too preemptive. They would get a couple of kills, see an open lane, and immediately sprint for the hill. Day by Day took their time. They set up a retake. They did that every single time. They stay cool, calm, and collected, and now they are 1 round away from completing a 3-0 and getting that final spot.
3-0 on the series, 3-0 potentially on the map as well. They can hold this thing the way that they have been going so far. Would have to come through the attacker side round, but they're going to start with a lot of aggression over towards this B side, and I don't think the read was necessarily there for Earn Your Medal, but they're going to get the kills. They're going to continue to fortify. Pooty will stay alive in the hill. A little bit of an uncustomary hit, but they're going to continue to try and push the issue. Ebok is going to get chopped down ever so close to the hill, but you still do have these reinforcements. Day by Day continue to press the issue over towards B.
It's going to be B, which is not the typical first objective that is attacked. Ace is going to get in there, but I like this. He's playing his life. He's trying to play slow, and the alley can be very difficult to get because you have to either flank from the front or the back. And if your teammate watches one, you've got the other, but the collapse comes through. Earn your medal, gets the kills. But look at the back. The A objective is slowly being ticked. And day by day, they're playing this well. They cause a lot of chaos towards B, and that allowed them to get map control in the middle.
It's the information overload strategy that we are seeing here out of day by day. They're going to be just short of that tick over towards B, but it's not going to really matter. You've already flushed all of Earn Your Medals players over towards that B side, and you're just going to basically take that A side completely for free. So even though they don't hit the B side or don't hit the A side to start things off, they're still going to get it when all is said and done. You're also going to have that progress over towards B. Nobody for Earn Your Medal is going to be able to hop on and get it taken down day by day. Now just need one more hill to go their way.
Draken kind of checking this, but Ebok might make the hero play. Yeah, they didn't read him. He's going to get the kill, but it did cost him a lot of his health. He's going to have to rat for a second. Where are the teammates for day by day? If he plays this slow, he might be able to get away, but no, there's just too much map control over towards the middle for Earn Your Medal. Super is in a power position, and it looks like they're going to rat off that first attack at B, but there is a minute for day by day to work at this objective.
Still a lot of time for day by day here. They're going to be respawning and regrouping in mid. You do have two players for Earn Your Medal who could potentially set up the pincer here, but no, one is taken down from behind. That's Frex getting dropped. Super Perp staying alive in the hill, trying to fortify for his team, wait for those reinforcements to get on in, get close, but you have Ace coming around the corner who's going to look to make some time on this hill. The contestation is in, but he's got to get these kills, has his teammates rotating on in as well to provide that additional support. Day by day is in. Now it's about fortifying.
Yeah, they've got multiple players. Just stack the objective, get 3 in, and rack that time up. They're getting the kills as well. I believe they have 3, and they might only have 2. But, oh my goodness, Ebok actually dropped. Draken will get a kill, but it's all going to come down to Super. Super finds 1, can't get the second. Ace from behind in the closet, and dominance from them. Last spot secured in dominant fashion. 3-0 in the round, 3-0 in the series. Day by day, take it.
My goodness, we will be seeing day by day in the playoffs. They have made it. They have punched their tickets on in. For Earn Your Medal, they're going to have to go into that LCQ. A date with Sudor Gaming awaits them next week during our games. And again, you talked about it. Earn Your Medal coming out in pure dominance. We marketed this matchup saying, hey, you know, day by day, they come into this, they're a little bit down and out. That being said, Earn Your Medal, it completely flips the script, and day by day comes out screaming. 3-0. And I mean, I just got to go back to our little podcast that we had with Cheeto. Cheeto cursed him.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh, wait, we got our interview here. Ace Slim is going to join in.
What's up, man? How you feeling?
Yo, I'm feeling good. Those kids are fucking dog shit.
Yeah.
Contact right before the match started and just got 3-0. Shout out my teammates. Those kids are, I don't know, they're just fucking breakdown.
Yeah, no, I want to talk a little bit about that. Heard that Frex was in the Codcaster role and talking a little bit of ish. Or keeping it as PG as possible. I mean, did that increase the bloodlust potentially?
Who cares about PG?
I mean, to be honest, like I don't know, like I don't even know who the fuck these guys are. I'm sorry, but like it is what it is. Like Reddit and Kobe, they're scared of them. You know what I mean? Like it was GG's. We already knew it was over. 3-0. On to the next.
I gotta ask you. You guys looked so dominant in the latter stages of the game. When the clock is ticking and you're in the late rounds of S&D, you're in the middle of a hard point, you're towards the ends of a control. What are the comms like, and who's really leading that for you guys?
To be honest, it's in between Kobe and Reddit, to be honest. Sometimes Draken as well. Everyone just said just pre-aim alleys and just stay calm, to be honest.
And how would you describe the emotion and what's going down in those tough scenarios where every decision matters so much?
To be honest, probably the S&D was probably the one where they got really close. And then we just started playing slower and they just started playing like shit. No. Yeah, I don't know. Like, they just broke down the S&D, to be honest.
Well, you guys are into the playoffs now. No LCQs for you guys. And if the teams that are potentially up to bat against you guys are listening right now, I mean, what do you have to say to the guys in this league?
we're coming for everyone. We got something to prove. Day by day, GG. No one knows that org, but we got something to prove.
Hey, brother, I mean, I was familiar with your game, but you absolutely still surprised us. Absolute dominance out the side of you guys. Congratulations on the win. We'll be seeing you guys in the playoffs.
I appreciate y'all.
Good stuff. Love talking to the absolute gunny that is Ace Slims. And I mean, Red Roke, that's going to just about do it for our coverage of pool play. We still have the LCQs next week, and then we've got playoffs.
Playoff time.
We've got playoffs coming
Playoff
up in
time.
2 weeks. So still a lot of the Premier Circuit Destro Showcase to get through.
And I think I've said this earlier, a lot of our lower teams are really starting to prove themselves. And now it's time for those guys to shine and maybe cause some upsets. And it always happens. There's always some crazy Cinderella run or upsets. And I don't know if these standings are completely updated, but we do roughly know what this looks like. And it's setting up for a barnstormer, Quinn.
Absolutely. Still a lot of Call of Duty to be played out. Still a lot of teams with a lot to prove, and the chips are definitely on the shoulders. But for you, for me, we're going to just about call it for tonight. Still, again, lots of Call of Duty action coming your way next week. You're not going to want to miss the LCQs. Be here and be ready to watch the Premier Circuit Destro Showcase. We'll see you guys next time.